What's up, everyone? Welcome to Knowledge and Relationships. This is your boy M3, and I have Mr. Best in the world with me. And tonight's
Mm.
topic. Oh, can you hear him? Oh, say again, Mr. Best.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. Tonight's topic. I'm going straight for this one. Men must learn how to set their standards like how women do. Before we begin, Mr. Best, how you doing today?
I'm chilling out, man. I'm chilling out. See me in the mountain.
Yeah, man. Sometimes, man, you gotta get away from all the drama, man. And if it requires for you to take a hike in the cold mountains just to be away from all the craziness, then that's what you gotta do. So that's why we here up in the mountains, man. Okay, but
Yeah.
glad that you're chilling, man. Doing the same thing. So as we wait for more people to show up, and just want to say, everyone, definitely thank you for getting the likes up. Let me make sure I also
Yeah.
type it in for the new folks as well too, because that's the most important thing. Oops, hold on. Okay, always remember, get the likes up. All right. And if you guys are on Twitch watching, thank you so much for doing so. Please follow us on Twitch. So let me give a shout outs to Mr. AR from Him versus Her Solutions.
On AR. Good to see you, brother.
Mm-hmm. On to the next one. Okay, who came into the building? We have Mr. Chef Shapino. He says
Gus,
peace,
what up, man?
love, and light to the platform. Thank you for tuning in, Chef. Then we have one of our moderators. Salutes to Daryl Long. He says salutes and let's begin. Indeed.
Salute to the Brody. Daryl Long. What up, baby?
Okay. We also have Just a Splash, aka Sophia. Okay. She
Lady
says,
Sophia, good to see you.
giving the love to his versus her solutions, Chef Sopino. Words don't fail me now. You both are kings of kings indeed. Mmm. Very endearing. And then she also says, knowledge and relationships. Daryl Long. Salute, gentlemen. Salute to you.
Salute.
We also have a cool gamer who usually comes into the beginning of the show just to say hello and to say
Okay,
that
what up?
we're awesome.
Thank you, brother.
Oh, Mr. Best, your face. All right, Mr. Best, can you hear me?
I'm back.
Okay. Yeah, your camera glitched, so I try to put you in the backstage, but
Yeah, I
it
got it.
is what it is. All
Yeah.
right. So in response, Sophia says, "Hello, welcome back." But she also says that she can't hear. Maybe she needs to reset her audio and headset. Although, our sound quality is working. Maybe you may have to turn the phone up. You might have to turn the audio. Either way, hopefully things will work. And then AR says, "Yo, okay, there you
Yo.
go. Back to you, homie." And then we have APTV. He says, "Shout outs to knowledge and relationships.
APTV, what up, man?
Salute, salute. What's up, my brother? Thank you for tuning in." He says, "Peace to the chat. Respect to the mods. Definitely love and respect." All right. We still have a low number. And, I want to make sure that we have enough people so we could get things started.
Mm-hmm.
Respect to the ladies. Yes, yes, definitely.
Yeah.
Respect to the ladies, but also respect to all people too. See, the thing is, we also have to learn how to respect ourselves. That's the
Mm.
first most important thing. Not to the point where it's like we're disrespecting other people and we're being arrogant, but we have to respect ourselves to the point that we are in love with ourselves. You know what I mean? When you love
Mm.
yourself, you will respect yourself.
Mm-hmm.
and you won't degrade yourself for no woman, for no
Mm.
job, for
Mm.
nothing that goes against your core moral beliefs and values.
Are we talking about standards in three? Is that what we talking about?
We're still talking about standards. Everything ties into
Hey.
standards. Okay, man, I should. I don't know if you got a chance to like to look at that video that sent Mr. Best, right? But
I didn't,
you
man.
know,
I've been trying to, you know, do do multiple things at once. So multitasking, brother. You know how it is.
hey, no, I understand. So you know what I'm gonna do, right? Look, I know YouTube is kind of funny acting, but I'm just gonna play the video, okay?
All right.
And whether if we get copyright or whatever the case is, it seems like people try to copyright us for anything. They'll try to
Mm-hmm.
copyright us for music that doesn't belong to them, and then they're gonna try to make us do the groundwork, and we gotta contest and fight, and hell, I feel like, man, we should even play this. Because what's next?
Mm.
We're gonna get a copyright? But hey, it
Mm.
doesn't really matter at this point. So, man, we're all about education and
Mm-hmm.
entertainment. And I feel like YouTube be trying to shut us down for every little thing. So
Mm-hmm.
tonight, you know, we're gonna do things the way how we're gonna do it.
Mm-hmm.
So let me go ahead and share this audio clip. All right. You know, and I ain't even tripping about fair use because let me see, hold on. There we go. All right, so in this particular clip, as we wait for more people to show up, um, this particular clip shows, and here's the thing, as a disclaimer, okay, tonight's topic is not about, you know, disrespecting black women. I want to just make that very clear. And the
Yeah,
things
you
when we
got to.
talk about between men and women, we're not talking about black men only exclusively, and we're not talking about black women exclusively. However, this video is talking about black women exclusively because there was a mixer that was going on, and none of the brothers showed up to the singles mixer. So we're gonna play a couple of clips to that, and we're gonna react to that. So just don't take it personal where it's like, oh, this is like a black woman thing. No, no, no. This is an American thing. America got a huge problem when it comes to these relationships, and we need to
Mm-hmm.
narrow down, man, and bridge the gap. AP says YouTube has a target. A target on the backs of blacks. Sorry, a black man. It's outrageous, fellas. Thank you. Sorry, I read it wrong, right? Because I felt like I was gonna rhyme that the backs of blacks. But anyways, pretty good gaming. Salutes to you. It said, "What's good?
Good,
Why
good,
does the
good,
title
man.
says black like that?" Hey, that's the, just curious. I don't know. YouTube's largest streamer is a black man. No joke. Okay. But yeah, yeah, if you're talking about the title of the YouTube, right? And just in case if you had just came in, we're doing a video reaction of a singles mixer where it was a bunch of women, black women that came, but none of the black guys showed up. But our main topic is about men need to learn how to set the standards just like women do. So that part is not a black exclusive type of thing. This is
Mm-hmm.
pretty much an American thing where a lot of men, or you know what, I feel like it's kind of worldwide. But a lot of men so far that we know in America, because we can speak on that, have a lot of low self-esteem. We gotta
Mm-hmm.
we gotta learn how to love ourselves, okay? Before we try to love someone else that doesn't care about us.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the wrong ones. Anyways, let me go ahead and play the clip, okay?
At your service.
Black women don't know these things. The black men were
Oh, okay, hold on. Let me mute this because they're playing Tyrese song. So right here, they went to a singles mixer. Only women showed up. As you see,
Mm.
bunch of women. No man in sight but the waiter. Don't you think don't you think something's wrong? Okay, this is like a message, ladies. You know, and then you have a black woman that's speaking on behalf of black women.
Or at the white girl mixer or the gay.
And so what she is saying is that none of the black men came into the mixer because they went to, and I don't know why they always got to target white folks, but they said that we went to the white mixer or we went to the gay mixer. You know, like it's either like, yeah, it's either you're in love with two things. You're in love with whites only, or you're in love with gays. You know, I mean, come on now, like. Why can't we just be straight and maybe the men just feel like they just want to play the brand new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game that just came out. Maybe that's where all of them went. Yeah, I sure did. I said, wait, is this jumping or just edit like that? No, I'm fast forwarding it certain parts. Don't laugh 84. And shout outs to like the people in the Twitch game. Thanks for tuning in. All right, let's go ahead and fast forward.
Gay mixer.
All right, yeah.
Black women don't know these things.
And she's saying black women don't know that we're gay and we just likes to go to white mixers.
This is not a diss video. I repeat, this is not a diss video. The woman in this video gives her opinion on the mixer.
Now, the guy who's narrating with the music, okay, he's basically saying that he's basically saying the same thing that I'm saying, but somewhere in if I fast forward the video, he's gonna point out a couple of things. I hate to like play while I have music though.
In Dallas,
let's turn this down real quick.
Of course, they're blaming black women for this.
So,
and I'm really
she's saying that we're blaming black women for the reason why this mixer didn't turn out right, basically.
Black women is such a lucrative business online.
And the reason why I'm turning the volume down because of the music or whatever. But anyways, she's saying that, that in the Mansfield community, we use black women as a lucrative business. So we're making money by pretty much talking bad about black women.
Well, the man, she's saying it for the Mansfield community. We ain't a part of that community, so
yeah,
that's them. If they want to do that, that's up to them. But that's not us.
Beginning of YouTube, and guys like Sergeant Willie Pete and Thug Titian exposed the foolishness early. YouTube didn't monetize channels back then. It was not approached as a business by the early YouTubers.
This video is very embarrassing. Just sidebar.
You want customers from?
Okay, hold on.
So M3, isn't that? Wouldn't that be called gender shaming? You're shaming my gender because because I don't agree with what you think I should do as a man, right? Ain't that gender shaming?
Yeah, pretty much. But those are the things that are not really talked about. Whenever we have an opinion, usually our opinions get shut down and it's deemed as unrealistic or ridiculous. And then shout outs to Mr. Killer. Thank you for tuning in.
Mr. Killer, good to see you.
Let's see. Justice Plus is upset and making it worse by insulting. I don't blame black men. I run from noise and drama too. And then she says, Mr. Killer, hello. Okay. Or hi. Back sis. And let me go fast forward to the video because I don't want to play too much, but let me see. It was a certain part of the video that was very important.
Not gay. LGBTQ is 7%, and that's everything.
Gay mixer. Black women don't know these things.
She just had to mention gays.
Just like I was saying,
most people are not gay. LGBTQ is 7%, and that's everything combined: men, women, and transformers. Just because
So it's 7% of it. But we have somebody in the audience, so let's
Hold
go
on one
ahead and
second.
bring this
I got
person
him. I
in.
got him. I
Mm-hmm.
got him. I'm just opening the door for him automatically. You know what I mean? Let me introduce, you know what I mean, Brooklyn's own, my brother. You know what I'm saying? You know, much love to him. He's definitely a mentor to me in a lot of ways. Gotta bring in the homie, BK Apologist. What's up, brother?
Yeah, what's going on? What's poppin'?
What's going
What's
on? What's going
up,
on?
BK Apologist? Like, thank you for tuning in.
Yeah, my pleasure, man. My pleasure, definitely.
Yeah. I'm just gonna play a few more clips of this. I want to fast forward as much as I can to the good parts. So, because I don't really care about whatever she has to say and manosphere stuff because we're not a part of the manosphere. So, let's see.
But we see it all over the internet. Black women busting it wide open, cute bodies, cute booties, cute faces, hair, wig, lashes, all these things. I'm not against it, but you're still not good enough for a black man and black women.
So, what she's saying that basically, no matter what black women do, you could be the sweetest, you could bust it wide open, you do all these things, but you're never good enough for a black man. And that's why black men don't show up to support sisters, especially or have an interest to date sisters in the community. Let me see.
Cute
And he's throwing out the
bodies.
red flag.
80% of black women are obese, and we have proof. Look at the video of the mixer. Most of these ladies are overweight and don't have cute bodies at all. The lady in this video is overweight herself. I've said it many times on this channel that attraction is not a choice. Most men are naturally not attracted to fat women. Am I bashing black women right now? Or am I just exposing the truth? Look at your screen. This is not photo.
Basically, this is not Photoshop. He's judging them by their bodies. He's saying, look at them. Why would you even come to a mixer having high unrealistic expectations? Because basically what he's trying to say, and I skipped over most of the important parts, he's basically saying that a lot of these women are highly educated, highly successful, and they really came here not to look for the average man. They really came to look for the above average person who's already making above their pay grade, who's probably in shape, but are they taking care of themselves or are they looking the part to attract the men? And this is where he kind of goes in on it.
Shop. In the back, there are two big ones. One is wearing green. Come on, man. Stop with the I'm thick, I'm big bone bullshit. Unattractive. It doesn't matter if you're comfortable in your own skin and you love yourself and your girlfriends think you're amazing. Unattractive to most men. You don't listen, men are gonna go somewhere where they can find what they're looking for. Just keep doing what you're doing.
I just don't get it.
Okay, we're gonna close this out. And if you guys want to check out, man, just look it up. Anyways, this guy definitely kind of went in a little bit, especially you're talking about like how most people, most women probably feel comfortable in their skin and all this other stuff, but at the same time, he's also saying that people don't listen. Well, women don't listen as well. But one thing that I could take from the video is that even those women that he's judging that is out of shape, body's not really proportionate to the lustful eye. One thing I could say is for sure, all those women love themselves to the point that they still carry their standards. So why can't we do the same thing? BK Apologist, I'm glad that you're here. I'm gonna let you go first on this one.
Well, I mean, a lot of what you just shared from that video, the guy in the video, a lot of what he's saying is very fallacious, right? And the fallacy he's guilty of committing is a sweeping generality, right? Because he's saying most black men won't like these type of women. In order for that statement to be true, he would have to know pretty much every black man that's alive right now on the planet.
Mm-hmm.
There's no possible way for him to do that. Therefore, this statement is not logical, right? Second, everyone has various tastes in what they like. There's entire communities in which men like women who are larger in size. There's entire communities,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and there's men who like them, you know, below average weight. You know what I mean? So that's why he can't say what he says. That's not a definitive statement, right? Now,
Mm-hmm.
when it comes to standard, right?
Mm-hmm.
When we talk about anything, we should define terms, right? A
Mm-hmm.
standard is an idea or thing used as a measure, norm, or model in comparative evaluations. So when we say that someone has a standard, what we're saying is that they have an idea or a measure to model in comparative evaluations. So that's what a standard is. Now, yes, should people have standards? Everyone has a standard. The real question is their standard uh, compatible with reality? Because when we start talking about standards, it's like, well, what kind of standard does the person have? And when we start talking about standards, what we're actually talking about now is worldview. What is that person's worldview, right? And a worldview is basically how someone sees the world. What is their philosophy on life? And depending on their worldview, they're gonna act a certain way, right? The dude that did the mass shooting in Buffalo, he had a particular worldview that dictated that type of action. So when we're talking about standards, do you have the right standard? Because your worldview matters, and that's what I got.
Okay, okay. But for men alone in these relationships, because here's the thing. Okay, you have the worldview standards or the worldly side of standards, and a lot of times when you compare, and like I said, this is not like a black man and black woman exclusive. Let's just say this is like an American standard because I can't speak from for other countries outside the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think it's more a United States standard? And if so, when it comes down to black men, I'm sorry, not black men, sorry, to men. When it comes to the men in general, like, should men learn how to practice standards when it comes to our relationships? You
Can I
know?
can I answer the? Can I talk about the video real quick? Because I know that's gonna
Oh,
move this. I know your question gonna move the conversation to a different level. Um,
okay, go ahead.
I,
Hmm.
I just want to say this real quick, man. I think to me, like I appreciate a woman, what I mean, who's a bigger woman who has curves, but that's me. I think if a man likes women who are skinny or they're too fit, I think that's I think for me that seemed like a guy who actually wants to play for the other team. But that's me. That's my standard. Okay, I'm not into
Hmm.
the whole skinny woman thing. I'm not into the whole she got to be fit. No, I'm not into that. I want a woman that's curvy, and the women that was on that video, they look perfectly fine to me. They were beautiful women to me. But that's me. That's my standard. You know what I mean? I think a guy who wants a woman to be super skinny, like I said, it's kind of bizarre because men should like women who got curves. They know that women gonna have curves. They know that they gonna have a little stomach because they have to bear children. They know that their body's gonna be curvy and shaped a certain way. Men are the ones that's usually skinny, scrawny, and narrow up and down. So to me, if you want a skinny and scrawny woman, to me, I just think you want another dude. That's just me though. That's my mindset, right? That's not everybody else's mindset. You know what I mean? And I'm willing to live with that. You know what I mean? So everybody has their preferences. You know what I mean? But for me, as one comedian say, ain't no real man care about no cellulite or nothing like that. We don't care about none of that. But that's me. You know what I'm saying? And that's that man. So yeah, go ahead, BK.
Also,
Hmm.
we can't be hypocritical either, right? Because the same measure you use on other people, you got to
Hmm.
use on yourself first. So if there's a certain type of individual you want to be with, right? You have
Hmm.
all these qualifications. The question you have to ask yourself is, what would make that person who fits all those qualifications want you? Nobody wants
Hmm.
to talk about that part. Everybody has their ideal who they want as a partner, but are you that person that partner would want? You got to ask yourself that question first. And unfortunately, people like this and people like Kevin Samuels, what they do is degrade both men and women. Because a lot of guys love Kevin Samuels because he goes hard on women, but he puts this unreasonable expectation on women. But he does the same thing with men. He reduces men to their wallets and women to their shapes. So you're no longer human beings anymore. You know what I mean? So that's my take.
Yeah. All those are definitely like good points. The one thing that does come to my mind, and this is like just me being realistic as a man. Okay. Now, if I'm an out of shape man, okay, and I'm not working hard enough at the gym, and I'm not physically fit, what would I? How would I want to require my woman or anyone else to be fit, muscular, and be so much in shape, and I'm just like a lazy fat slob? I'm just saying, like hypothetically. So you can't really expect like this particular woman that you want to fall in love with you and accept you for who you are just because she meet all your qualifications, but you're not meeting hers. Like what are your and but see, but this will go in reverse into for women. It's like, well, you know, what are you doing to meet the qualifications for men? But however, a lot of them are not really meeting those type of qualifications, and there's like a rift to it for both sides. But the one that I could definitely say for sure is that women do have enough self-esteem to look be alone for the rest of their life until they find a Prince Charming, or they're gonna wait for a long time until they finally bend down to settle.
Man, let her guest in
Hmm.
real quick. You know what I'm saying? Let me open the door for her because she definitely is a lady. Okay? And oh, she's a lady, she's the first lady. First Lady Tammy. Hey, what's going on?
What's up, Tammy?
What's going on?
What's
What's
going
up?
on,
What's going
Tammy?
on with you?
I'm gonna make my point real quick because my point is gonna be super quick because I know Tammy. When Tammy makes her point, she's gonna make her point. So let me
Hmm.
make my point super quick. My thing is this: like you can listen if you have a standard of what you're looking for in a mate. Okay, if that's what you're looking for, then that's what you need to. That's if that's your preference, that's your preference. I never tell anybody not to have a preference. My thing is that in the preference that you desire, you know what I'm saying? Are you looking for other characteristics with that person? Like, are you looking for them to, care about your family, care about your kids? Are you looking for them to have a career? Or do they have the same belief system as you? Do they have the same morals and standards as you? Because as far as looks, yes, everybody has different preferences as far as looks, and that's completely okay. You know what I mean? I never tell somebody, oh, just because you weigh this much, you can't have this type of person. No, that's not up for me to say. You know what I mean? That's me basically, trying to tell somebody how to live their life. And I'm not gonna do that. You live your life the way you want to live your life, okay? If you are a big woman and you want a skinny guy, go for it. If you're a skinny guy and you want a big woman, go for it. You know what I mean? Like whatever it is that you're looking for, look for it. As far as the looks department. But after that, what are the real qualities that this person has as far as their character and who they are as a person? Because that's what's gonna matter. You know what I mean? And shout out to everybody in the chat. I'm gonna do that real quick. Shout out to OG Patrice. Good to see you. Okay. Shout out to Princess K. You know what I mean? Shout out to
Hmm.
Quantum Love Metaphysician. You know what I mean? We see all you here. So
Shout out to
yeah.
everyone.
Salute to all y'all. You know what I mean? Definitely. So that's my point on it. So go ahead, Tammy, rock out. Or go ahead, M3. I know you have a question for Tammy. So go ahead.
All right, Tammy. Well, welcome to the building. So we already had a fair reaction, but besides that, I want to know in your opinion, should men set standards when it comes to all relationships, dating relationships, work environment, any type of standards you think of?
I mean, I definitely think men should. I think everybody should have standards.
Mm-hmm.
I think that should be a not that should be a given that you have standards. No matter whether it's work, whether it's friends, whether it's dating, marriage, all that, you should always have standards. I do think there is a difference between preference and standards. I think there's a difference between being picky and having standards. So, I think that preference has to do with things that a person can't change. So things as far as somebody tall or somebody short or certain weight and things like that. Those are preferences that you have. I think standards are things that people can change and they will change, but not everybody's willing to do that. So, certain things, that's your preference. Can't really do anything about that. And I can't change that. So if you like someone who's, if you like a woman who's really short and I don't fit that, then that's your preference and that's fine. But standards are a little bit different. Standards are things that that you absolutely have to have, that they're non-negotiable. You don't have to have somebody who's tall, but you can prefer to have somebody who's tall. You don't have to have someone who's making six figures, but you prefer to have someone who's making six figures. So standards on the other things is things that like ambitious. Somebody who's ambitious. That's something that can be a standard that you have, that somebody can change. Somebody may not be ambitious and they may decide to all of a sudden become ambitious. So there's certain things that can be changed and there's other things that cannot. So I think when it comes to standards, I definitely think there should be standards, and that's non-negotiable. You have to have standards.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Tammy. It was something I was going to ask at the end that just slipped from my mind, but all right. Appreciate that. So let's go ahead and wait, Mr. Best, did you ever answer number one?
Should men set standards when it comes to all relationships? Yes. Yes, you should. You can't put everybody in the same box, and you can't basically have the same criteria or standards for each relationship. You know what I'm saying? So certain relationships, they're just going to be your friend. Okay, this woman is just going to be your friend. She's never going to be anything more. You're going to not look for her for anything more. Some women are going to be in your life for just a season. That's all they're going to be. You know what I'm saying? They're not going to be anything more. Some women you're going to look at as maybe wifey material, but you have to decide who those women are. You have to have realistic standards that you're going to set for yourself. You know what I mean? For yourself, and what you're willing to deal with and what you're willing to put up with. And if you do that, then you'll be good to go. But that does take time. You know what I'm saying? It does take time. It does take you learning yourself, learning other people around you, and then just kind of setting the right standards. If you do that, then you'll be fine. But a lot of times, men, we don't do that. A lot of times, we're either afraid to set standards or we are told that, we don't have to have standards at all. If we do have standards, then, why? You know what I'm saying? Oh, you don't like this type of woman, or, oh, you want your woman to do this, that, and the third? Well, why? You know what I'm saying? So when we have standards, a lot of times our manhood sometimes comes in question. You know what I mean? Because it's a lot of times we're told that we have to accept women just the way that they are. You know what I mean? We have to accept them on any level. So if I just see a woman as a friend, no, I have to, because she's a woman, no. I automatically have to see her, as maybe wifey material, but I don't see her as that. And let's say she's not living a lifestyle in which I believe is worthy of being a wife. Should I still view her as a wife? No, I'm not going to view her as that because she's not living to me. She's not living a life. To me, like I said, she's not living a life that I would find as a wifely character, even a girlfriend character. So I'm not going to put her in that category. I'm not going to do that. That's not the standard. I'm not going to do that to myself or to her. Because the thing is, when I do that, is that I'm basically putting her on a pedestal that she does not deserve. You know what I'm saying? As I always tell people, you got to make them earn the titles, man, that they have. You know what I mean? That's all I got to say. You know what I mean? That was kind of quick. I'm glad I had a quick take, because I got to guess, man. I got to let him in.
Yeah.
Hold on. All right, man. Okay. I'm gonna let you in. This dude, he get aggressive at the door, so I gotta let him in immediately. Else he gonna break the door. And I already had my door fixed already. So let me let this brother in. Let me let in the Brody, Daryl Long, man, before he break my door. I ain't trying to have that happen. You know what I'm saying? Daryl Long, what's up, man?
Salutes to Daryl Long.
How y'all doing
What's
tonight, man? Salute, salute, salute.
Salute, man.
Pretty good, man. You know, how you doing tonight, man?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. See, we got a lot of people in the building tonight. How you doing? First Lady Tammy, BK apologist.
Peace.
Yeah, that's what's up, man. Daryl Long, before we get to you, I want to give like a welcome to the trucking trader. So thank you
Salute,
for
trucking
tuning
trader.
in. I see you're a new face up in here. So if you're new, if you like knowledge relationships, please subscribe. And it looks like you probably actually drive trucks. So if you drive trucks for a living, we would definitely love to have you on our show because I feel like our audience need to learn about the trucking industry. So let me know under the comments like what do you do, yay, nay, whatever. But we're gonna play like a 1 minute intermission real quickly. So hold on, let me stop the music real quick. So we'll play in the background. All right. So let's go ahead with the intermission. All right. So, Daryl, likewise, thank you for coming up to the panel. And of course, you already know what the title is.
And shout out to Be Easy, that dude, for the intermission, man. Had to give him a shout out real quick. Yo, go ahead and
Yes,
shoot, bro.
definitely.
Oh yeah, happy
And
Father's Day to you too, bro. You know what I mean? I seen the pictures, baby.
Mhm.
Seeing you out there doing your thing.
I definitely appreciate
Yeah.
it, man. Shout out to my sisters, man. They my sisters are great aunties. They definitely put on for the family too, man. So I just want to give them a shout out too. But shout out to all the fathers out there. My father, my grandfather, shout out to my cousins as father. You know what I'm saying? All of them. Shout out to y'all.
Yeah, thank you, man. Appreciate
Thanks,
it.
man. Thanks.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Daryl, so we're on the first question. Should men set standards when it comes to our relationships? What's your thoughts on that?
Should men set the standards specific? I think that men should I think that men should reinforce the standards, but the standards have to come from, and like, let me be cliche for a moment. The standards had to come from God or culture, right? So, let's take us out of it for a second, right? Let's look at the Muslim culture. Sorry, the culture of Islam. In Islam sets the culture of marriage, right? The men simply follow Allah and the principles and rules of Allah and the structure of Allah, and then they pass down these different things to their children, and the wives pass it down to the children as well. The men simply enforce those rules, right? Christians were supposed to do the same thing, right? Don't have sex before like marriage. I mean, like we had the 10 Commandments. We have all these different things, but ultimately we don't enforce them, and neither do women, right? You know what I mean? Like it's easy to get pussy. It's easier to get pussy than it is to find loyal women. But to answer the question directly, should men set the standards? No, they shouldn't set the standards. The standards should be set by the culture and the religious principles. So if a woman is saying she Christian, her standards should be what the Bible says. If a man is calling himself a Christian, his standards should be what the Bible says. Those should be those standards. He should enforce those standards. But I guess set and enforce basically is the same thing. I'm not trying to play on semantics here, right? M3, like on your show, I'm trying to like keep it straightforward. But I think you understand what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, everything already has its own rules. It's like the rules to nature, the rules to life, the rules to living. So, if you set your own standards for something that you want to achieve to happen, you're going to eventually fail, you know. But let's just say, for instance, right? Let's just say, if the Bible is the true standard, or the Quran, wherever people read, okay, like basically that standard should be based off of what is already written, and I think that's where you're coming from with it.
No, yeah, absolutely. It's like, um, when you grow up in Detroit, there's in the southwest region, very far south, there's a city called Dearborn Heights, where it's nothing but like basically people who practice the religion of Islam and people from the Middle Eastern cultures, like the Middle Eastern countries. That's what I meant to say. And they are so like they so deep in their culture, bro. Like I had a friend, her name was Zainab. I remember going to school with her at Henry Ford Community College, right down the street from the projects where I used to live in. Bro, we was like, I say like close friends, talk to her all the time, all day. I remember like one of the days I tried to hang out with her outside of school. Like no funny shit, just hang out with her. She was like, absolutely not. Like that shit basically forbidden. Like even us studying together. But then I was like, cool, well, I'll just see you later. And I tried to give her like a handshake. Bro, that shit was basically like like you would have thought that like I was on some straight bullshit. She was basically like she like from that day she taught me everything about their culture. And she taught me that in their culture you can't even touch a woman until like unless she's married. Like the only people that can touch her, she said, was her brother, her father, and her grandfather. Not even her uncles had any rights to her. Only her father and her grandfather and her brothers to protect her. To anybody else, if they even laid a hand on her, like basically like you will owe that father and like the brothers some kind of compensation, because you basically like dishonor like they fucking family forever. Because let's say if you like a high lord over there and you want to marry this girl, but then you find out in any kind of way Best smacked her on the booty and she was going for it. Now you basically just fucked up her value basically. But in our culture, it's different, bro. Like men want women with low body counts, but men out here fucking. Right? Men want women to be submissive, but they not leading. Men aren't taking care of their children for the most part, and we not building structures and institutions that will help us take care of these children. We fight amongst each other.
Oh, Daryl, I like what you said. You know, it really sheds a little bit of light into like the flaws that's around in this society, in this masculine society. The reason why I agree with you is because it's kind of like how when someone says that like men want women to be submissive, but there's like a demand in our culture. Now, whether I really agree to it or not, on the internet, it does feel like there's a demand. if you go into a manosphere, well, you know what? Yeah, I'm just going to say it. When you go into a manosphere space, there is a demand and stipulation for what they want, although not a lot of them are really true high value. And even if they are high value, you don't need to demand what you want. You're going to get it anyways, without force. Pretty good game
I
says is hmm?
Can I jump in
oh
real quick on that? So
go
listen,
hold,
Wait,
yeah,
hold
yeah,
on,
hold on, BK.
hold on,
I just want to
yeah,
make my
BK.
yeah,
point real
yeah, yeah,
quick.
yeah.
I mean,
Hmm.
my point real quick. I'm be real quick. Listen, okay. If okay, just like women are a lot of times social media, they ask men, and even outside the internet, they ask men and they require men to be leaders, to be protectors, to be providers. And if you do not do that, not only will women talk bad about you, but men will talk bad about you too. This is a known fact. A man is told that he has to do all these different things. By the time he turns 18, he has to be at this certain level automatically as a man, right? So as men, when we call for women to be submissive, we're just asking for the same thing that they ask for when it comes for us to be leaders. And they didn't have no problem asking us for that. They have no problem demanding that from us. And actually, they are told that they should ask that from us. They are told that they should do that. So why can't we? Why are we so? I don't know if it's a machismo thing. I don't know what it is. Why are we so afraid to say no? As women, I require you to be submissive. If you want to be my woman, there's nothing wrong with that. And if you're not being submissive and you're not falling into that, and if you're slipping from that, I'm going to tell you you're not being submissive. Just like you will tell me if I'm not leading, and people will tell you to tell me that I'm not leading. They will tell you you need to tell that man he need to step it up. They will say that, and society is okay with that.
Mm. Best does have a really strong point to that because and BK, I'm gonna get to you because I know you want to get your point across, but um, we need to just go back to dating, right? Let's rewind real quick because I know like in a question it means like all relationships, so I kind of get it, but in dating relationships, you know, should men pretty much like set their own boundaries is what I would say. Should they build their own worth? You know, should they do what the best that they can to build their self-esteem up? Because the thing is, we do have demands. There are a lot of demands and there are a lot of expectations. Okay, in America, if you want this really gorgeous, superficial, and they're all superficial. But if you want this superficial, gorgeous, perfect 10, high quality woman, like I said before, you have to be realistically, what do you have to offer for this woman in order for you to meet her requirements? She easily met your requirements because she looked good. But are you appealing to her? What are the requirements that you need to do as a man in order for you to even get her attention and to succeed on the first date? So it does feel like there is a demand that's placed on us because we don't really have much of a choice unless you want to. Well, we do have a choice. Is either work hard enough to build yourself to what you want to be, or you could just be, low value and just settle for whoever likes you for who you are. And they don't have to be like the most beautiful woman. So the choice is yours on that part. BK, I'm gonna let you go.
Thank you. So two things.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Everyone just has to be leery of anything they see on the internet
Mm-hmm.
because there's a lot of fakery on the internet. A lot of people come here and they recreate themselves on this digital space. So people come here saying that they have this certain standard and I live this certain way. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Right? So there's something that you guys gotta be, mindful of. Second, yeah, when it comes to relationships, do I believe that men lead? Yes. But what does that mean to lead? Right? The Western world has given us a certain perspective of what leadership is, and that's cracking the whip and lording over someone. Right? That's not what leadership is. Right? Leadership is leading by example. So if I want my woman to be submissive, guess what I gotta be? I gotta be submissive first. If I want her to be very forgiving, guess what? I gotta be forgiving first. Because women don't care about what you say. A woman cares about what you do. Because you could talk good game, but if you can't back it up, then who cares? Right? So yeah, we do lead, but leading doesn't make me ontologically superior to her. We're both human beings. We're both images of God. We both have intrinsic worth. I just have a different office to uphold, but that doesn't make me better. You know what I mean? So yeah, that goes with standard, right? For me, the proper standard of leadership is it's actually a higher form of serving when you lead, right? Because you have a higher responsibility. So I have to inspire. I have to empower. That's what a real leader does. Whether we're talking about leading a country or leading a woman. You know what I mean? So that's my 2 cents.
Okay. Thank you, BK.
My bad for cutting you off, BK. My bad. I wasn't trying to cut you off, bro.
No, we good, bro.
Yeah. Now, Bess, I'm gonna get to you real quick because Stan had a reply to you, but I gotta give a shout outs to the people in chat. Give a shout outs to Be Easy, that dude. Salutes to
Easy.
Be
What up,
Easy.
baby?
Okay, I gotta give a shout outs to Mr. He Said. Salutes to you,
Mr. He said.
He
Mr. She said. Shout out to House Tribe
Okay.
Media Group. Yeah.
And then shout outs to Truth is Never Favorite. Thank you for tuning in. Truth is Never Favorite.
Truth, what up, baby?
Love. If I didn't shout you out before, I'm shouting you out right now. Salute.
Quantum Love, what up?
Okay.
Okay, you go to Stan's comment. I'm here for it.
Okay. Stan said that there's a backlash when you say that, Mr. Best in the World. It's more about needing to learn to submit to women leadership.
But the thing is that you can't care about the backlash. That means we got to stop caring about the backlash, okay? Of course there's going to be backlash. Of course there's going to be people that's going to be like, oh, well, no. Well, you can't say that. You can't say this. But when you meet people with logical explanation and facts, there's no argument to what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? So, and the thing is, and if you are that woman who does not want to submit or who does not want to be under my leadership, then we do not need to be together. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing. The women who don't want to submit to that, then listen, hey, let them be. They'll either find somebody or they won't. That's up to them. You're not worried about them. You're worried about the women who actually want to be under your submission, who want to be under your leadership. You know what I'm saying? Just like if it's a woman, she's not gonna be worried about, you know what I'm saying? If you're not leading in a certain way and she can't respect you as a man, guess what? She's moving on to the next. She ain't care about no backlash. She's not thinking about that. She's not thinking about what you're gonna feel or who you're gonna tell or what you're gonna do. She's not thinking about any of those things. She doesn't care. Okay? She's going to go to a man that's going to provide the way and lead her the way that she believes that she should be led. And if I am wrong, you can ask First Lady Tammy right now. She's a woman. Tammy, am I wrong?
You put on the spot, bro.
Yeah.
No, so here's the thing: is I think that in order to want a woman to be submissive, you as a man have to understand what that means. And I think there is this negative connotation when somebody hears submissive. So some women hear it and they think of it in a negative way as far as ruling over somebody and, you know.
No, but Tammy, I'm not talking about the meaning. I'm not talking about the meaning of submission. I'm not talking about that. Everybody has a different meaning of submission. I'm not. That's not the basis of my statement, right? The basis of my statement is this: if you feel like a man is not leading you in a certain way, and you feel like he's not able to be the man that you believe that you were looking for, are you gonna really worried about being somebody just getting mad, or, oh, Tammy, you should accept him for what he is? No, you are not. You're not putting up with that. You're like, this is not the right man for me. I'm moving forward.
I mean, me personally, yeah, but you have to think that a lot of people are very concerned, and some women are concerned about other people's opinions. So that's why you have it where a woman will stay with somebody because there's people saying, "Oh no, you should stick with him," and all these other things. So some women will, because of the fact that she doesn't want, some women that are people pleasers, they want to please their family and everything else. They will stay with somebody even though he's not what she believes he should be, because people get in her ear and say, "Oh no, you should stay with him," all this kind of other stuff. So there are some women that do. Me personally, um, everybody else ain't got to deal with him. I do. So, I mean, you can be in my ear if you want to. That's not going to necessarily affect as far as me dealing with somebody or not. So
Okay,
some
okay,
women,
okay.
yeah, they will. Other women, they're not going to stand for that.
Okay, okay,
If I
okay,
could
okay.
just comment real quick on what Stan said to my man right here. So part of being a good leader is knowing when to fall back and let her lead, because there's certain things she's good at that I'm not, and I need to be aware of that and be self-aware of my own limitations, and knowing that, you know what, in this area she got to take the lead because she actually has the skill set and I don't. So part of being a good leader is being humble enough to realize
I'll
that,
be
you know
right
what,
back, guys.
when it comes to this, I need to fall back, and that's what healthy leadership looks like.
You know what's crazy, bro, is that's a real interesting concept because in this, in this manosphere, usually what we hear is men shouldn't have to rely on women for nothing, right? Can you hear me very well, BK?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. But I couldn't agree more with what you said. I believe that men and women, we have this symbiotic type relationship, right? Where a man, he can be good by himself in the words of Neo, but when you got the right woman, you just so much better than what you used to be. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. For me, like the conversation of submission, that's a different conversation, but that symbiotic bond, to me, that's what God created. You know what I'm saying? Like that's something that's if you have you heard about this little situation basically where if a child is born and a child is not with his parent, if a child is alone, you're gonna have these kind of fucked up disorders growing up. I feel it's the same way, right? There's these studies that when a man isn't married after a certain amount of time, he isn't in healthy relationships over a certain amount of time, it's gonna like affect who he is, basically his spirit, the way he thinks, the way he moves. So like I definitely agree with what you said. Sometimes you gotta fall back and know when, like, basically what's your lane and what's her lane. But like, so BK, the question I want to ask you is, why do you feel like in this manosphere internet bullshit, men don't really hear that? They really push the, like, do it yourself, do it all, like if you need her at all, you basically a beta.
Because a lot of these men have been hurt and burned in
Mm-hmm.
previous relationships, and
Right.
now it's their time to eke out revenge. But they can't be upfront with that, so they hide it within this. Well, I have this proper philosophy that men, I'm just. It's not that I'm anti-woman. I'm just pro-man and blah blah blah. Like, no, fam. Someone hurt you really bad. You haven't processed the trauma, and you're out on the interwebs giving it to everybody. That's the problem. And you're not being real with the situation that you had. You haven't processed the experience, and because of that, everybody now got to feel your pain. That's what's happening.
Mm. Let me welcome to the panel as well, y'all. Let me welcome Miss Truth as ever favorite. Salute to you, Truth. Salute to you. I definitely want you to add your 2 cents. I just want to say something real quick. Part of leadership is delegation. Okay, you gotta know how to delegate and want to delegate. Sometimes, and let's say you have a big family, you have kids. Sometimes you have to delegate things to the kids. Listen, kids, you have to the way you're gonna help and lead this household with me is you're gonna do the dishes. You're gonna vacuum the floor. You know what I mean? You're gonna do the laundry. You know what I'm saying? So you're not as a man, you're not doing everything, but you are delegating and you're making sure that you're setting peace, order, and stability in your home. You know what I mean? And you have to make a decision based on that. You know what I'm saying? Now the other family members can help you make those decisions, but at the end of the day, you have to be the one that is making the final decisions and keeping order in your home and delegating that throughout your home. So yeah. So Truth, what's up, man? Rock out with us, baby. I know you got a lot to say.
First and foremost, how my guys doing? I hope everyone is doing great. Salute
What's
to
good, family? Blood in, baby.
You're good,
Yes,
blood
sir.
in.
Blood in.
Salute.
Best in the world. My God, Lady Tammy.
Yeah.
Daryl. Salute to BK apologists.
Yeah, it was good.
You always got the knowledge. I see Simon just stepped up. What's going on, my foreign brother? And Stanley Joseph. I think that's someone else that just popped up there. How you guys
Yeah,
doing?
Doing pretty good.
Good.
So the dads on the panel, happy belated Father's Day. Salute to you guys. Appreciate you guys. Love you guys.
Love you too, brother.
Dope. You overstep.
Thank you.
Yeah, this is the subject right here, bro. Like, this is it.
All right. Well, all right. Well, Truth, I'm glad that you're here on this particular subject.
Yeah. Right, so everything that can y'all hear me, or is it going in and out?
We hear you, bro.
We hear you, but hold on. Somebody gotta mute them. Thank you. Okay, because I was hearing background noise. Go ahead, Truth. Sorry. Go ahead and rock out, because I know you had an opinion that you want to say, right?
Yeah, no, I'm saying, can y'all hear me clearly? Because
yeah, we get you clearly, bro.
Yeah, we can hear you clearly.
Okay, cool. I just want to make sure y'all was able. But no, everything 84 said is, right on the nose. I'm just going to convey it in my, the way I speak. First and foremost, like it all starts off with vetting, man. Starts off with vetting, and if you are a leader, we know as leaders, you do not lead because someone is following you. Lead because that's who you are. That's number one. Mm-hmm. And as the consistency and the example you show, it's automatically going to galvanize people, because one thing, there are certain individuals that recognize truth and they recognize authenticity. So they're going to automatically come behind you. Whether that's a small following or a big following, it doesn't matter. You're going to attract followers. For me, I've always been placed in a position of leadership by default. It's who I am. It always been like that ever since I was small, down to, playing sports, being in the classroom, being out in the streets, everything. I've always been placed in that position, Also, here on YouTube, it's just how I carry myself. So that translates also into relationships. I don't carry myself because of a woman. I carry myself the way I am because I am a man. And this is what indicative of what a man is, how they move. Now, what happens is it will attract a certain type of woman who recognizes and understands I'm not going to fold to their situation. I'm going to move on my purpose, and she is supposed to come with me. And if she respects my vision and she wants to be a part of that, she will comfortably fall in line with that. But I do not move counterproductive to what I know I need to do. So that's first and foremost. And then the next thing that 84 shared is true. When you're talking about delegation, it's not so much you conforming to another person, you recognize strengths. That's what a leader does. He recognizes strengths in his pack. Who is operative with computers, who is operative with accounting and finances, and so on and so forth. Now, if you are a man that does not have a lot of weaknesses, then I can understand where you coming from, where you're saying, okay, look, I really don't need her to do these type of things. I need her to just fall into her divine purpose of being a mother and a wife. But we already know that is not what's indicative coming from the manosphere because they on some bullshit. Everybody know that. But most men, if they're a jack of all trades, a master of none, they can do a lot of different things. They really don't need a woman for that type of counterpart. They just need her to be a mom, a wife, nurture, and help me raise good people. And like 84 said, for the children, for the people in the household, like let's say if you're taking care of your parents as well, and they live in the household, you will be delegating them to certain services that's contribute to the, the nucleus, us as a whole. You feel what I'm saying? So that's how leaders move. We move, we delegate, but we always stay on our course, our purpose. Nothing moves us off of that.
All right. Thank you, Truth.
Can I just say that you can't sort of backtrack from the manosphere in that sort of way. I understand where you're coming from, but like we've all learned from that, and that's why we're here. Like without the manosphere, we won't be here.
Wait, you said without the manosphere, we won't be here?
We won't.
Who won't?
Us.
What?
So
Wrong.
what?
I was a man before the manosphere.
Right. So these platforms and everything that's come up and all these conversations we've had and all these interactions we've had has been based off what? Where did it come from? Where did it stem from?
Well, my conversations, if you ever get a chance to see my Facebook page, I've been talking about this for 7-8 years, bro. This is nothing new. If you was brought up with men, this is nothing new under the sun, bro.
I understand what you're saying in terms of that's why I tuned in. That's a different thing. So you tuned in because it related to you. But
no, I didn't tune in because it related to me. I came on here to spread my message.
Okay.
Okay, so Simon, let me make sure that I get this right. So you're saying like the content that like us as content creators as men, without the manosphere, like there won't be no knowledge relationships, there won't be no truth is their favor, there won't be no Daryl Long and other people. Like basically we're like Thanos, like we won't even be in existence. That's what you're saying?
Right. Yeah, I will back that shit up. And that's why I don't beef with people, because I have total respect for people. Because it's like at the end of the day, Darrell, I have respect for him because it is where it is. Like if there was no look, come to the pandemic, I bring it back to that. These people 10 years prior were planning this shit. You're part of it now. That's cool. And we're doing well, and that's the point. But the fact is like if that nigga didn't actually trigger that shit, you wouldn't have a voice right now. There would be no platform. There would be no Lapeef. There would be no Darrell. There would be no like knowledge and relationships. Are you seriously trying to tell me that this format is just going to come out of the blue sky and drop from nowhere? I don't believe that. I'm sorry. And Truth over there, I love him to death because I love the fact that I love people that turn around to me and will put me in a place. Like, so if I fuck with you and I'm like, oh yeah, shit, I'm gonna go with you some fuck nigga shit. It's like he's like, oh no, nigga, I'm this nigga. So it's like I respect Truth, I respect Darrell, and I respect everyone else on the platform, and I love them like that because there's not many people that can do that. I don't encounter that in my life a lot. Like they'll just be on some fuckboy shit. So it's like, okay, cool, check me.
Okay,
but it's like, it is what it is. For real, are you going to tell me that you're going to bring up this format out of the blue? Because it's not going to happen, to be real.
I got one question.
Wait. Before you get your question out there, Truth.
Okay.
Let me say this, Simon. Right. And matter of fact, I'll try to make it as short as I can. All right. I understand where you're coming from with that rhetoric, because there are talking points that most people discuss because of the manosphere community and also the feminism community as well too. And then when it's partly jointed, then it's like, okay, you have certain topic points because the primary audience talks about relationships, but this channel is not built on through the power of the manosphere community. That's the part that I will disagree on. I can't speak for other content creators or whatever, but I it's like there's a half part that I do agree, because like we do talk about these things, but we don't really live by it as far as like certain ideologies, you know. And even be easy was like, well, what exactly is that manosphere? Because there's no universal definition of it per se. You know?
Yeah, I've been online now for about 3 years, and you won't find not one video on my channel speaking about the manosphere. So that's not me.
Hey Simon, the question I had to ask, you listen to the manosphere, right? Like you've heard different people from over there, from KS to Obsidian to Ramel to so on and so forth, right?
Are you talking to me?
Your name is Simon.
All right, bro. Look, I'm tuning in. I'm just trying to get on the same page as you. Just don't go there like, your name's Simon. Okay, cool. Yeah, I know my name's Simon. Look, I've been tuned into this from the outset, which you're not. I don't know if you understand. Like, I'm tuned in from the outset. Just try to understand it from a perspective when you're talking.
So, did you hear the question that I asked?
Please ask it again, True.
Okay, sure. I sure will. Now, once again, you have been privy to what the manosphere has been presented and who's the parties that's in the manosphere. Like they actually say, I'm part of the manosphere. So you know certain individuals, correct?
Right.
You know their talking points, correct?
Right.
Okay. When you hear me speak, do I sound even remotely like them?
What's that got to do with anything?
Answer the question, and then we're going to find out what it has to do with anything.
I'll say no.
Exactly. So that means YouTube is a platform created that already exists before there were a black manosphere. Okay? So let's say before the black manosphere established itself and I found out about it, and then I said, okay, well, check this out. This can be an avenue where I can spread my message, what I have to offer, and who I am before the black manosphere got established. Now what?
Bruv, look, what you're doing is reverse psychology and inverse engineering.
Huh?
I know what he's talking about. No, I don't play. No,
I love my YouTube family, man. Y'all
I
funny.
don't play games. And, what happens is, you know what I mean. So the premise that you just laid upon us, I don't fit that mold at all, bro. Nobody speaks like me on here. Not at all.
And that's the point. The point is we don't want people that speak like other people. So we want people who can do you. You know, we want people that can do you. Because at the end of the day, I love the background.
I love you, Simon. We love you, brother. We love you, Simon. We love you, Truth. We love y'all.
You know, like, at the end of the day, it's like we need that. Do you get what I'm saying? It's like, fuck this bullshit. I mean, for real, like, people might disagree with me and pull some bullshit butthole shit about me and Darrell, but I always see something in Darrell. Do you get what I'm saying? Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying that I always see something in Darrell, and Darrell knows that I always see something because we talk. Like, it's not, you know, it's like, I don't give a fuck what's going on here, like, whatever. It's just like, I see the future. I see in the future what.
Let me go ahead and put this timer up. I'm gonna give you 2 minutes.
Give me a rope,
just because it's entertainment. No. Go ahead, continue, Simon. You was rocking out for a little bit. Go ahead, continue. You got a few more minutes.
I love when Simon talks, man. He has a very, very interesting perspective, but he really does want to build community. He really does want to help people, and I can appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to brother Razik too. Razik, I see you, baby. See you in the comments, man.
Right there, Zeke.
You know what I mean? Always feel free to come up, man. Always feel free to speak your mind. You know, and shout out to Sister Saida. Good to see you, Sister Saida.
Okay. Wait a minute. Okay, so Simon, let me ask you this, right? I know I'm not gonna get stuck on number one. We're gonna go to number two, okay? Because we've been here with number one for an hour. When men set standards, are they usually criticized by women? And for the ones who just came in, we talked about number one already. Sure, men set standards when it comes to relationships. So we're not on number one no more. We're on number two.
Who is it on? Best in the World?
Say that again.
No. I wrote that.
Oh, you talking about who wrote the question? Yes, that's Mr.
No, I'm saying who's starting off?
I'm not me.
I'm last.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, so I want Simon to start off with number two. And then I'm going down to Stanley because Stanley came in. He haven't spoke yet, and Wally haven't spoke. So, Simon, since you was talking, right? When men set standards, are they usually criticized by women?
Okay, so when you're talking about standards, that to me leans to class.
So needs to what?
It leans into class. So it's like when you're talking about standards, it's like what kind of standard are you talking about? Because everyone has different types of standards.
Okay. Well, let me break it down to you. I want to break this down real quick because we do have a lot of people. So when women have requirements, no matter how they look, size, look, shape, whatever the case is, financial status, whatever, they have expectations. They have standards. The standard says they don't want no scrub. A scrub is a you know what, right? So, come on. I know you heard that song before. I know you're from the UK.
Need no scrub. Yeah.
Exactly, right? So you know what I'm talking about. So basically, they will not settle for anything less. So should men have that same type of mindset?
I just think that men operate on a different level. I don't think like women operate on the same level as men. Like men, look, if you're in a position where you can do certain things, a woman, you will take under they come under your cover. It's not sort of like a thing of all these sort of song themes and what's going on out there in the entertainment world and the rest of it. Like you have your own sort of privacy and your own sort of home, and it's like at the end of the day, if a woman understands that, they will come under that. If they don't, you're dealing with an Instagram chick, and you're going to be fighting that shit. I ain't fighting that shit. I ain't interested in that shit. You know, for real. So it depends on what you're looking at and who you are. Like, I try to deal with real brothers. You know what I'm saying? It's like, and at the end of the day, if I'm gonna, I had this conversation a bit earlier. If I'm gonna walk into a room, you know, on a business perspective, with a woman on my arm, she needs to understand what the fuck that is. This ain't no game.
So what does she need to understand? So hold on. So what does she need to understand?
She needs to understand. She needs to understand. Look. So are you telling me that you have not gone into a room?
No. Simon, answer the question, because we're gonna go to the next person.
Yeah. Okay.
What do that woman needs to know? Understand your program. That's why I'm asking you.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Sorry, brother. She needs to understand what she's getting involved with in a sense that this is you. Like, you've built your pyramid. And this is how you're walking. So
what pyramid did you build?
No, you built your pyramid.
No, I'm actually, what pyramid did you build?
The pyramid that I built is my whole house.
So you built your house by brick by brick?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So
toilet and all. Toilet. Look, my hands are my hands. My hands are my hands. And I ain't even got my hands in the sense that it's saying that they're dusty. Do you get what I'm saying? I put that.
No, I don't.
I put that toilet in. I could do that. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, I'm that dude. Like, I will put the whole house together. You don't understand.
So the like, woman need to understand that you are a builder of your own house, and you built your toilets in your own bathroom. So she needs to understand that if she's acting up or she's out of character, then she's losing the privilege for the toilet that you built. Because I mean, you're not making any sense right now. That's what I'm asking you.
I appreciate the fact that you even asked me that.
Hold on, can I break down what he's trying to say real quick, please?
Yeah, please.
Usually I don't speak for other
men, and then we're going to stand. But
I just need to have some clarity. From what Simon's saying is that, like, the pyramid is basically his life, what he's built, his career, and everything else. And a woman needs to understand the value of that. She needs to understand the things that he's built around him. You know what I mean? That is actually meaningful. You know what I'm saying? If I'm wrong, Simon, you can correct me. But that's what I believe that he's actually saying. And I know that, because Simon, we both are from different countries, so sometimes the way we say things may be a little bit different. But I think in totality, that's what he's trying to say. If I'm wrong, you can correct me.
No, I appreciate you actually being a translator.
Yeah. So that's what you mean, Simon?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll give you a pass on that one. Best save
Thank you.
All right. We gotta get to Stan. Stan Lee.
Hey, good evening, everybody.
What's good, Stan?
What's up?
Good evening, Stan.
How you doing, brother?
I'm doing pretty good. Hey, so what was the second question?
All right. So the second question that we're on is that when men set standards, are they usually criticized by women?
I say yes. Because that leads into the number one question, because for me, right, there's how I know the standard is set when a woman will say to me, oh, you wouldn't date someone like me because I'm not your type. So she pretty much have an idea of what I normally go for.
Say that last part again, Stan.
When a woman will come up to me based on insecurities, she will say like, oh, you'll never go out with me because I'm not your type. So
she'll tell you that she'll never go out with her because she's not your type?
Yeah. But it's like it's an insecure way of like testing me out. But I get an idea like, oh, you've been watching me, so you've seen the type of woman that I do go out with.
Is this the form of the woman putting you through the ish test?
No, this majority, a lot of women does that. This is a regular thing for me. Like, a lot of women will say like, oh yeah, I'm not your type. Because, for example, you never will see me date a woman, or I wouldn't mind dating, but like a woman that had a BBL, a stallion, or whatever. You'll never see me out with that type of person. Tattoos, nothing wrong with it, but that's not a woman I'm interested in dating. There's nothing wrong with that type of woman, but normally I go for, working class girl, rich girls, and that's it. And what's in my circle, but it's not because I decide not to date that kind. And, girls like that, I'm like, yeah, you want to go out? Let me know. But the insecurity that type of insecurity is like a red flag for me, because I don't, because it means a lot more what insecurities coming from women, and there's always a red flag because I've dated women with those type of insecurities, and this never will.
Hey, Stan, I got a question to ask you.
Yeah.
Are you like Pharrell? Because Pharrell, he likes his women like pancake style. You know what I mean? He like the flat tops.
No, I'll say this. No, if you're into, I remember a while ago I talked about models. Like I never go for models, and because models, little insight. I used to be a commercial model and do all that commercial prints and going out for commercials. That industry is so much insecurities. I couldn't do it. It's because they judge themselves to everyone. Like, you go to a restaurant, she hates the waitress and she thinks I'm looking at the waitress. I just want some bread. She can't eat. She can't.
Yeah.
Every woman that comes by, oh, you're looking at her. It's a lot of insecurities, and those insecurities are going to drive you crazy. And guess what? A lot of women. I'll say this about breasts. Some women can't grow breasts until they get pregnant. Some. Right? Some women, it's an insecurity for women. It's not like that. It's not like they go to the factory and like, hey, I need a C cup. There's some women who can't grow breasts. They're gonna be an A cup.
Why do you feel like you need to speak about women like that? That's crazy.
I know, but if I say flat top, like women actually have a choice. Like there's bodies come in different shapes and sizes.
Yeah, but why do you feel like you need to speak about women like that? That's crazy.
Well, we just said somebody flat top, right? But I date somebody like for real, right? And you know what? We're men. These are real toxic conversations that men have. I'm sorry, like it don't sound pretty, but when I'm with other guys, this is how we talk. For real, and that's the truth. Go to barbershop, it's worse. Cause not once I curse.
I go in barbershops, but I don't hear men speaking like that. That's some crazy stuff.
It's worse. So I'm just being honest. Women are built in different shapes and sizes. I'm not picky.
Do you have a woman?
Hold on, Simon. Hold on. Listen. We're gonna let everybody make their point, and we're gonna move on.
Yeah.
Okay. We could do critiques after our questions. Y'all can ask whatever your questions y'all want to ask. Simon, stay here. Don't go nowhere. But let's let everybody make their point, share their point, and we're gonna move on.
And then we also have Wally next too, though. But go ahead, Stan. Finish your point.
Oh no, that's the point. I think that was like another question you was gonna ask me, Mario.
No, we're sticking with the number 2, and I'm going with Wally. So Wally, salute my brother. Thank you for excuse me.
What's going on, Wally?
Thank you for your patience.
Salute everybody. I'm Tanner.
Yeah. Wally, question. So when men set standards, are they usually criticized by women?
The flat out answer is a yes.
You feel that?
But that's all good though. I mean, because like I said, not all criticism is bad criticism.
Okay.
I say this, whatever the standard is that she questions, you just got to be able to be the man enough just to, simply answer it. Tell her why you feel this way, why it is important, why it's important to have that as one of your standards, and then from there on out, if she understands that, from there you keep moving on. If she don't, hey, you can only explain it so much. So if it doesn't work out, hey, it was okay. This didn't work out, but that doesn't mean nothing. I'm gonna move on. You gotta move on. There it is. That's it.
Okay. It's simple. All right, real quick. I want to give a shout out to A Peace of Mind. Thank you.
Hey, Peace of Mind. Good to see you, sister.
How you doing? Peace of Mind.
Yeah, so thank you for tuning in.
And everybody in the comments, please keep it respectful. All right, I don't want to have to time you out to block you, so please keep it respectful. It's just a fair I'm just letting y'all know. Okay, thank you.
He's saying that in general though.
Yep.
But don't, yeah. Oh yeah. For the people who are new, we do have our rules and boundaries. We want to keep it we try to keep it a safe and balanced space. So, people will have opinions that you might not agree to, and it's okay to type it in, or if you're on the panel, to say, "Hey, I don't disagree." But let's try not to personally heavily judge a person's opinion to it. So, I just want to make that clear. All right. All right. So we're going with we're gonna start with First Lady Tammy. First Lady Tammy, what do you think about number two?
I don't mean to laugh. I just find this funny because I'm the only woman up here. So, I mean, I think that when men sit down, they usually, I mean, you're going to be criticized, but you're going to be criticized by women that don't fit that standard. So, and like I said already, there is a difference between preference and standards. So preference are things that you may like. You might like a woman who is athletically fit. You might like a woman who is, I don't know, always wears stiletto heels, whatever it is. That's your preference. That's what you like. Standards are things that can change. Standards are things, like I said earlier, about being ambitious. A woman who is caring, a woman who is submissive. Those are things that are considered standards, things that can be changed, whereas preferences are not things that a person can change about themselves. If you like a woman who is tall, if that woman's not tall, then that's your preference and that's okay. I think that you should expect to be criticized because not everybody is going to fit whatever your standard is. So if you have this idea in your mind that everybody has to agree with your standard, that's just not the case. There's going to be women that are going to criticize it. Some women don't like that standard. Some women don't fit it. And that's the thing. It's the same thing when it comes to rejection. You should be okay with rejection because whoever rejects you is not for you. So whoever criticizes you is once again not for you. So yeah, you will get criticized, but that just comes with the territory.
All right. Thank you, First Lady Tammy. BK, apologist.
Yeah, so all men have standards, whether they know it or not. All men have a philosophy and or worldview. The question is, does their worldview suck? Right? That's the thing you got to ask. Two, like someone else said in the panel, yeah, when women critique, it's not always a bad thing. Critiquing something is not bad. Critiquing is you're looking at something and you're trying to understand and analyze it and figure it out. Right? So that's not always a bad thing. A lot of times we think of critiquing and we give it a bad connotation. Critiquing of itself is fine. Are you critiquing to better the situation or not? Right? Sometimes, we will use the word critique when what they're really doing is tearing down somebody. Right? And we gotta know the difference. Critiquing is healthy if you're doing it to help understand what's being said or done. But a lot of times people are just they use the term critique when they really just want to, smack you upside the head and make you feel bad about yourself. So that's
wow. Right. That's deep. Truth. What you think? Number two?
Yes, sir. What I noticed about this one is, it's not so much that the women, and again, man, 84 said this, like, we got to stop, giving this title so freely. Females criticize a man that has standards, and also it's not, consistent, because we already know women have standards that's a goddamn rap sheet long. And if you missing one of them, they'll throw you to the wayside, where we will actually bend a little bit on ours. We will actually concede as long as you bring peace, you're loving, you're nurturing, you're caring. Certain standards that we had, we will be like, oh yeah, that bull crap don't matter. You feel what I'm saying? We'll toss a little bit of that garbage to the side. But on the opposite side is this, a lot of guys, I'm gonna just use this for this point. A lot of guys don't come with them like with a plan of attack, bro. Like I'm starting to notice on these panels and stuff like that when I see guys talk to females and stuff, they sound retarded. They can't even articulate themselves to tell the woman, "Hey, this is what I got going on. This is where I'm headed at." You feel what I'm saying? For them to even understand, okay, or make a good choice. Hey, should I follow this or should I not follow this? Should I adhere to these standards or should I say, man, fuck this shit. This shit is unreasonable. They don't even articulate why they even want that. It kind of falls back into the thing that Simon said. A lot of these people take these goddamn talking points because they need a daddy. They take them talking points from their daddies in the manosphere, bring it to the females, and the females like, look, I'm not following that bullshit. Neither should they, because that shit is bullshit. Be your own man if you're trying to lead a woman.
Facts. We gotta welcome Queen to the panel. Queen, what's going on? Good to see you, Queen.
BK. Brooklyn.
Yo, what up? What up?
Who's actually next on M3? Is it Queen?
Yeah, we're gonna make Queen go next.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Queen, question number 2. When men set standards, are they usually criticized by women?
Everybody gonna criticize everybody, like it's no different than women having standards. Men want to have standards. Have your standards. I mean, I don't get it. The back and forth. Oh, we compromise. Oh, women do this. You don't have to do anything. If you have a standard, and that's your standard, by all means, let it be your standard. But don't blame somebody for compromising your standard. If a woman wants standards and she's unwilling to compromise, and you don't meet those standards, move on. Why are we so caught up in whether, they got a long laundry list or they don't or we do? And, come on, dude, find you a chick, get with her, that's a part of your program and move on. Let's stop living in these bitter, hurtful spaces. I don't get it. If Susie down the block got a 2-page laundry list and you don't meet it, by all means, go with Sally. Sally got a 1-page. You meet the criteria. Go date Sally. Get over it. What? It's just too much. Both women and men compromise their laundry list or their list if they find someone that they are willing to compromise for. If you're not willing to compromise, don't get mad if you compromise and she don't, or vice versa. Move on. There's a lid for every pot. Every pot that's made in this world, there's a lid that fit it. You might have to find it, but there's a lid that fit it. Go find it, heal, and move on.
Agreed. You muted, M3. You muted.
Oh, thanks, Daryl. Let me see. So we got everyone. Okay, Daryl, you're next, and then Mr. Best.
Yes, sir.
So when men set standards, are they going to be criticized by women? Criticized? I don't know. Listen, I don't want to be like the guy who plays semantics here, but at the end of the day, you're going to be criticized no matter what you do. And truth was pretty much right. When guys come in these situations and they're not leading right? They're not leading by example. It's not really about what she wants. She either accept your leadership or she don't. You don't lead because she want that leadership. You lead because you a leader by example. With that being said, women gonna criticize you, and they ought to, right? You want to be her man. You want to be her protector, her provider. you want to put babies in her, you want to compromise her time, right? Potentially her health, then the least that she should be able to do is criticize you and figure out if you is somebody that she can actually rely on, right? And if you, this is why, like, to me, the terminology, if a woman wants to be spoiled, she got to be loyal. Like, men need that, right? But that test go both ways. Once she give you that loyalty, are you willing to give her everything that she needs to make her feel secure? And she might give you a little bit just to test you. You know what I mean? But I agree with what Queen said too. If that's not working for her, if what she doing, if whatever she reciprocating not enough for you, then you probably should just move on to the next person who is providing that. You know what I mean? Move on to the next option. After you're healed, after you're in a place where you're not bringing toxic energy, you know, from this last shit that you just went through. But, you know, one of the things that I don't like as far as the manosphere M3 is the idea that every guy, because he's such a great leader, that he's leading every woman. It don't work like that. Queen is right. You're going to meet women who get what they want from you, men who get what they want from you. It's not going to, you know, be, you know, forever. Shit be changing like the seasons. Move on, keep going, and move forward. It's really just that simple.
All right.
Thank you for sharing that, brother. I'm gonna say this. You know, I think critique is cool. You know what I mean? Critique is good. You can critique anybody. Peace out to Razik. Good to see you, brother. Glad you came through. You know, with that being said, you know what I mean? If it's not healthy critique, or if it's you going back and forth with somebody, and Saeed, I'm gonna let you up in 1 second. I just want to make my point. You know what I'm saying? Then yeah, it's not gonna go well, because you're basically putting that person down. You're degrading them. You know what I mean? Nobody wants to be degraded. Nobody wants to be put down. You know, if you give me healthy critique about who I am or my health or just different things, then that's fine. I'm willing to take that. And I think it's the same thing for men. We have to also critique the women that we're choosing. We have to critique them and kind of tell them, you know, the things that we are expecting, the things that we're not okay with. But in that, it cannot be a personal attack. But I will say this: some people, unfortunately, are, you know, I know that, you know, some people feel like, I know Brother Dale said and Queen said that some people will find the right people, but some people will never find the right person. Some people are going to be single forever and they will die alone. Unfortunately. You know what I mean? You know, and sometimes the lid to your pot is you. Sometimes you are the whole thing. You're the lid, you're the pot, you're everything. And sometimes you have to be everything for yourself, because sometimes you're going to be by yourself. You know what I'm saying? So that's just life. You know what I mean? So some people are going to find that person to rock with them to the bitter end, and some people ain't. You know what I mean? But as far as critiques, yeah, I think we should have healthy critiques, but any unhealthy critique is an attack and a slander, and it's you basically coming at that person's character. I am basically going to drop myself down, and I'm going to bring up my guest. I'm going to welcome Lady Saida. Let me drop myself.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay.
All right. How you doing, Saida?
How you doing, Sarah?
I'm good. A little tired. Thank you.
All right. Well, Saida, like, what do you think about tonight's topic, and what do you think about the number 2 question?
So, question is, when men set standards, are they usually criticized by women? Well, I think first we have to. I think standards are facts, you know, and they're based on who you are. And first we have to define what a standard is. I don't think I can critique or criticize your standards if I don't know them, like if I haven't seen your behavior, because the standards are usually linked to your own behavior. And the expectations is something that I could probably judge, because expectations is more like a feeling, is more internally. So I don't know if I'm making sense, but let me explain this way. So, and I
Okay.
think I put it in the chat that a standard is kind of like a level or of a
Is it this
quality,
one?
right? Huh?
I was saying, is it this one?
I don't know. I don't remember. But is a
Okay.
standard is a level of quality, something that is accepted as a norm, like something that you want. An expectation is just a strong feeling or a belief that something is going to happen in the future, or that you believe that someone is going to accomplish something. So, the standard is a fact and the other is just fiction, because the standard is based on pretty much on what you are, on who you are. Am I making sense?
I understand, but what's the part that because you said it's also going to be a fiction as well too.
So nobody's going to judge your standards for that reason, because it's a fact. Like, why? So you want your standard is to have a respectful woman or someone that doesn't curse, right? The standard is that you don't do it. So why would I judge your standard if you are showing me is a fact that you don't do it?
I see what you mean.
And an expectation is a fiction, because you expect that person to not do it just because you feel like she shouldn't do it. When in reality, the expectation is just something that you created in your head without even knowing if this person does or don't.
Okay, I get what you're saying. It's
not
a false
real.
sense of it.
The expectation is not real. The expectation is internally. It's like, oh, I expect Saida to say this, or I expect Saida to behave in a certain way. Like, there's no way, that's you. Your expectation is something that you created in your head, but the standard is a fact because it goes with your morals and values.
Yeah.
That's what
okay. I agree with that. As long as you're holding on to those core values.
So let me just to make sure. Let me understand first. What are the standards of a man? What do you consider standards that you think women will judge or criticize?
Well, that's different depending on whatever for each man.
It's the same, because if you're
it's
saying,
not the same, Saida. It's not the same.
Let me explain. So if you're saying that I am criticizing or judging your standards, what are your standards? Let me understand what are your standards first. And if you tell me your standards, I will say that's not a standard, that's an expectation. And then we will have an answer. You know what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying. Yeah, I get what you're saying. Salute the Big Rick Slaps.
Yes, definitely.
You know what I'm
saying? As always. All right, so Mr. Best, you wanna answer Cyrus' question?
Yeah, I mean, listen, the standards are different for each person, for each man. Okay, so each man's gonna have a certain level of standard based on their family upbringing, based on their morals, values, and beliefs. You know what I'm saying? And based on their community or what they perceive as community. So they're gonna set their own standard based on that. So not everybody's gonna have the same universal standard. Even if they are even related, they may not have the same standard. Okay? Even if they are really good friends or associates, they're not gonna have the same standard.
Facts.
So me and them three maybe we are as thick as thieves. You know what I mean? I don't know if I can be any closer to anybody else as far as a friend and as a brother. But he has his own standards, I have mine. No, but you get what I'm saying. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Same thing with BKs. You know what I mean? Like, I've known BK for almost over 2 decades now.
Yep.
Me and him are gonna have different views of what standards should be at times. That's just life. You know what I'm saying? So my quality of living is gonna look different from his quality of living. Even if it looks, exactly the same, there may be something a little bit different. You know what I'm saying? Just based on our experiences. You know what I mean? Based on what we believe. So that's the answer to the question.
Okay. And I do agree, like there are no universal standards because to each their own person, everyone has a different standard based off their own personal core values and beliefs. And sometimes if you eh, but here's the flip side of it. Um and maybe that ties in with expectation, but let me ask you this though. If a person sets a standard but then that person he doesn't follow his own standard, does that even considered to be a standard, sir? Or that just like
Okay, don't forget to
well,
answer question number 2 though. Don't forget to answer that, bro.
no. I got question too, but I have to ask this question though, because she did say that when when people set the standard, it is based off of um what they hold on to, basically. So my question is that okay, if a man set his standard, but let's say he doesn't follow his standard, is that now considered something else?
Yeah,
And then I'll answer my
because your standards should match with, I'm sorry, your expectations should match with your standards. So you have your standards, and the partners or the expectations that you have from the partner should match your standards.
Okay.
So for example, an expectation is I expect my partner to communicate with me every day. That's an expectation. Yes. Why? Because I cannot make the other person, I cannot think that the other person will communicate with me if I haven't communicated that. Now, if I set that as a standard, saying, hey, I like people to communicate with me on a daily basis because that's what I do, and I will continue to be, it will be reciprocal pretty much. That's a standard. So you're setting a standard right there. And then if the person doesn't follow the standard, then you're automatically saying no to it. But you already communicated your standard. But now you have your standard and you think that's what you want, and then you expect the other person to do it. That's the difference. I don't know if I'm making sense.
Hey,
I want to go quick.
Yeah, you good.
Real quick. Go ahead,
Hold on
y'all.
for a second.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
All right. No, you're making sense, sir. I just wanted to kind of just get like a more clear understanding, but I get it.
Real quick, I just want to shout out also Brittany B. You know what I mean? Shout out to Brittany B as well, and Vahan Bryan. Shout out to both of y'all. Good to see y'all in
Ready
here.
to stand on the standards and don't
Shout
let
out to Brittany
vagina
B.
move on. Oh, okay. That's honest. That's real.
Key to life.
Okay, let me get to like number 2 for myself. So yes, men's standards are usually criticized by women, but it's not always like heavily criticized. I think it's just criticized because we have different views, and then there's a lack of understanding on both parts. Plus, like, unfortunately, men don't really set boundaries or they set like rules for themselves to protect themselves. I feel like the majority of them, they see a pretty woman normally, and they just go along with the flow. They just go whatever that she wants, and then that's it. But for the good men, like where are the men that says, hey, look, no matter how good that you look, if you're let's just say if you're walking in a path that is detrimental for my livelihood or for my children and for my family, I cannot be with you. You know, no vagina should ever like, come between me and my family, pretty much. Especially from someone who I barely know. So I think a lot of times because men don't really voice that, they usually just try to go on with the flow. Whenever a strong man is actually setting groundbreaking rules, for these relationships, I think most women are kind of like puzzled. And so maybe they probably think that, okay, your standard is kind of unrealistic. You want somebody that is like, on your level, but at the same time, some don't feel like they could just have whatever options that comes to them without having to do anything. I mean, you have a lot of men that tells women every day that, look, subliminally, you don't have to work hard, just to be with me, because your looks is just that's what it is. But then you do have other men at the same time, they complain about, well, I want women to be more than what they are and this and that. But how can you want that expectation from a woman when you don't really live by it yourself? You see what I mean? Like, it goes back to respecting yourself as a man. If you respect yourself as a man, then I'm for sure that women will start respecting us. Hopefully you guys get the point where I'm coming from.
I 100% agree with you, bro. 100% agree with you.
Me too.
We should not fold. We should not compromise. I've been saying that since day one. I'm not compromising for nothing. I'm going to be myself regardless. And also the thing about expectations, because I wanted to speak on that, is Big Riggs put it in the chat. It's like a sermon. And for me, one thing that helped me become, a better decision maker and eliminate problems in my life is stop placing expectations on people. I don't place basically what I create in my mind upon them. I expect them to be themselves. Whoever they are, that's who they're going to show themselves as. That's what they're going to always revert back to. Even if they bring out the representative, they're going to continue to go back to their default, who they are at their core. That's going to be their standard. Who they are at their core, who they show you they are, it's going to always come back. When we fall short and when we get into problems is when we start expecting people to be how we are, how we think. Like you said, M3, on the level that I'm on, I expect you to be there. They're not going to be there. You don't know what they've been through, their traumas, their background, their history, anything like that. The way they see the world, the way they reason, the relationships, the relationship with their mom, the children, anything like that. All that comes through and can throw off anything that you're expecting. DMX said it best in I think it was an interview with what is that cat name? Noriega, Nori. And he said, DMX said, trust people, trust them who they show you, basically who they show you are. Trust them for who they say they are. He said that's what he started doing. He said, I trust people to just be themselves. Whoever they show you are, whoever they say they are, I believe that. I don't place my expectations on somebody.
Yeah.
Because eventually, I mean, you're going to fall short. They're going to let you down. So, yeah.
All right. Thank you, Truth. Thank you, everyone. We're going to go to number 3. Do both men and women have unrealistic standards? I'm just going to say the simple answer is yes. All right. We're going to start with Wally. And then Queen, BK, Tammy, Sarah, yeah. All right, so Wally, are you still here? Hold on. Wally, are you here? Okay. We're going to skip Wally, and then we're going to go to Queen. Okay. Queen, are you here?
Yes.
Okay. Do both men and women have unrealistic standards? Oh, expectations.
Unrealistic to who? To you? If it's realistic to them, who cares what you think? Like, people make their standards based on what they want. Expectations. They have expectations of what they want. It's not unrealistic. It's what they want. And if you don't fit protocol, you move aside and you go to the next. It's just like going sneakers. You know, if you're gonna go buy a pair of sneakers, the sneakers don't fit, you buy a different pair. That's all I'm saying. Like, leave people and their expectations, leave them to them. If I don't meet your expectations, boo bye. It's no loss off my life. Dust it off and move on. So no, I don't believe people have unrealistic expectations. I believe that's what they want. And if they want it, if they find it, good luck. And if they can't find it, oh well. Simple.
So basically, like, so an example. All right. So I guess if I had a expectation, and my expectation is like, look, I want J-Lo, I want Halle Berry, I want like all like the who else? I want Ashanti and everyone else, right? They're all celebrities, they're rich and famous, and I'm poor. So, and I'm not going to settle until I get all three of those beautiful ladies. So that would still be realistic?
That's delusional. That's beyond expectation. That's not an expectation. That's delusional. And you don't live in reality.
Damn.
but at the same time, but at the same time, if you position yourself in a space where you can move in those circles, maybe you would have a shot. I don't know. But if you are not doing anything to achieve those, according to us, unrealistic expectations, then that's delusional. That's a whole nother subject. You need medication and you need to go talk to somebody because you don't live in reality.
Exactly.
Hey man, but a broke man could dream, right? Maybe,
yeah, and a broke a broke man, and just like a broke woman, they can do the work and put themselves in a position where they can maneuver in those areas. How many people we know came from the hood, came from the projects or whatever else, and they doing big things? Look at Jay-Z. He didn't have unrealistic expectations. He had the work and the drive ethic to get himself those expectations. So his reality, according to other people, probably thought he was crazy for dreaming that way. But guess what? He put the work in and he got it. No one probably thought he could get Beyonce. But he got her 3 kids later. I'm just saying. Expectations is you got to be willing to put in the work. But if you are just sitting on your behind, not doing nothing, then you're delusional. That's not unrealistic expectations. There's no expectation that's unrealistic. It's the person and whether they have the work ethic to achieve those expectations.
Okay. That's the part that kind of throws me off a little bit, but thank you, Queen. Thank you. You know. Well, so much for that. BK apologist. Oh, I'm sorry, not BK. Sorry, Sire. Do both men and women have unrealistic expectations?
Yes. Again, the question had to change from standards to expectations. And the reason why, again, I'll give you an example.
Okay.
My standard is for a man to dress casual or formal. I do not like or go out with men that dress like, how can I put it, baggy clothes, like old sports clothes. I don't like that. I don't. That's a standard. So I don't expect him to dress in a certain way. That's a standard. So I wouldn't even look someone that dressed that way. Give me 1 second.
Well, then, what if he was like coming from like the gym? You know what I mean? Like, he got his sweat clothes.
No, I mean, if it's to sleep, yeah, of course. But like if I see someone outside and that's all he wears, that's a standard. It's a standard because that's how I do. That's my standard, I'm not expecting him to do it. I'm not going to force no one to do it. Why? Because I'm dressed like formally. So if I am out, I don't see myself with someone looking that way. And like, I don't know. It's my standard. whether you like it or not, is my standard, and I will follow my standard. It's unrealistic and is an expectation if I want someone that dresses in the way that I don't like that, and I expect him to dress the way I want, and without even communicating this to that person. That's unrealistic. That's unrealistic expectations. So I agree with Queen. If that's your expectation and that's what you want from someone, it is okay if you have it, but you have to communicate that to the person. You cannot just expect now you wanting to have, or in your idea to have someone. Yes, you can do it. You can wish to be with Beyonce. You can wish to be with J-Lo. You can wish to have someone, but from where you at right now, you won't get it.
That's about speaking to manifestation, right? That's what a lot of these people talk about.
Unreal. That's just unreal. What are the chances? What are the odds? It's unreal. Mm-hmm. It's delusional. It's like me saying I want to have Tyson Beckford. So it's not real. It's not gonna happen. So that's unreal. That's it.
Okay. All right, I dig it. All right, BK apologies.
Yeah. So for something to be unrealistic, right, according to Merriam-Webster, right, unrealistic means to be inappropriate to reality or fact, right? So do people have worldviews that are not tethered or grounded in reality? Sure. Unfortunately, we all probably know people who have worldviews that are not of this world, right? They're somewhere in outer space somewhere, and we tend to stay clear of those individuals if we know what's good for us, right? But are all men and women standards that way? Of course not, right? I think what we're talking about more is about the probabilities of certain things that we want in our standards, right? Like, we're mentioning the Rihannas, we mentioned the Beyonces, right? The ability to be with someone of that caliber, we're dealing with probability, right? There are people who are like Beyonce and Ashanti in reality. They exist. Whether or not you'll be able to be with those people is it probable, right? Is it probable? So yes, men and women do have the ability to unanchor themselves from the real world based on their standards. But are all men and women doing that? I don't think so. So that's my answer.
All right, thank you, BK. All right, Daryl Long.
You just skipped over me.
Wait, are you sure?
Yeah, you dropped me to the end when somebody left.
Oh, hold on for a second. My bad, Truth. Somebody left and they switched up the whole order
Yo, all I know, I got pushed to the back of the line and it just kept going.
Hey, my bad, homie. Let me get to you real quick, right? Number 3, do both men and women have unrealistic expectations?
In my man, 84 words, males and females that are delusional, like Queen said, have unrealistic expectations. And I say even unrealistic standards, like it can go even that far. People claim to be something that they are not. One thing I represent is I always participate in reciprocity. So what I'm requiring is what I give. My standard is who I am. So that's what I'm looking for. So that doesn't change. And my standards aren't superficial. It's dealing with character. It's not clothing. It's not shoes. It's not cars. It's not all the other bullshit that the fire will burn the fuck up.
Okay.
So that's where I stand at.
And Truth, man, salutes to you on that one because you said like a key word. Damn it, and I forgot the fucking key word. Excuse me. But it would definitely shit. It would definitely come to me though. You mentioned it was like a biblical term. Why the hell I forgot about that already? Do you remember what was the word that you said? It was something
Yes,
that
sir.
you.
Reciprocity.
No, it was but okay, not that one, but it was another one that you said, and that key word. I can't believe I forgot about it. I'm gonna literally have to like rewind
Superficial.
like this. Superficial. That's right. Superficial. I can't believe I forgot that. But
The
yeah,
biblical term for superficial is carnal.
I think that was like a word that I usually hear like back then from the church I used to go to when they kept using words superficial relationships and superficial that. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, okay. So it wasn't like an actual biblical word, but it tied into that. But thank you though.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying.
Yeah, Daryl. All right, go ahead.
For me, I mostly agree with what Sahira and Queen was saying earlier, but I think in America. So look, you guys were talking about this earlier. You guys were talking about how all you guys have your own standards because you guys are who you are, and like that's cool and all, but like we need to have universal standards, cultural standards, community standards, societal standards, educational standards, biblical standards, financial standards, physical standards, right? These different things that goes beyond the individual and sets a whole standard, right? For example, we talk about teen pregnancy. We talk about when men should date and when they shouldn't date according to their maturity level, their ability to lead, and their ability to make money and hold down bills, be financially responsible. But all of this stuff is really taught at young ages. And it's just like, for me, I understand that like I have my own standards of doing things too, right? And they differ from a lot of other people's standards. Everybody got their own individual standards. But if there was a cultural standard that would hold us all accountable, I think that we'd be in a much better place when it comes to our communities per capita, not just us from an individual standpoint. You get what I'm saying? 'Cause individually, me, truth is never favored, right? I'm not sure if the rest of you guys have children, but we're gonna do whatever it takes to raise our children. That might not be the individual standard for all men, right? And clearly, the way that women talk about black men and other men of other different ethnicities, that's not the standard for all men. But I just feel like I know I thrive best under structure. And the current structure the best structure I have is my family. But what about the young men who don't grow up in those situations, the young women who don't grow up in those situations? I feel like listen, M3 too. I used to always say this. At one point in time, black men had the options of like going to like the Christian side, and they had leaders like MLK, and then going to the Islam side and having leaders like the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and Brother Malcolm. Now, it's really no options on both sides. It's like when I hear people talk about Christianity, most of them say I have a personal relationship with God. It's no society there, even in that, like even with that. So it's like setting unrealistic expectations. To going back to the question, yeah, absolutely. People set unrealistic expectations because how could they not, right? You're told that if you raise a young black male and you're a Christian, you're told that you're supposed to lead, do et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, have discipline. But then you see people acting in these unrealistic ways. hypocrisy, right? Right. For example, we don't have a culture that uplift not fucking women. We don't have our music doesn't talk about like, yeah, bro, the longer you last and you be a virgin and then get married. Nobody gives like that shit is not, it's not cool. The whole culture is built upon unrealistic fallacies. And relationships is no different. And as far as with what Queen was saying earlier, she was on some real shit. If you feel like you can pull Rihanna, who am I to tell you that you can't? You know what I'm saying? It might be delusional, but it's only delusional, you know what I'm saying, until you end up doing it. Right? It's a lot of like, you might say, man, I want to be a millionaire next year. Yeah, a lot of people gonna say, yeah, M3 he talking shit, until you end up with $1 million. Right? So for me, I don't set other people like relationship expectations, but I do wish that we had a realistic community expectation. That way we can have realistic expectations, because ultimately, I mean, how can we have realistic expectations when everything else is so unrealistic? Does that make any sense?
Hey, Rio,
I
I
hear
think
you.
y'all get what I'm saying.
can I respond to him real quick?
Yeah, I'll give you like.
Hold on, Chief. Hold on. I'll give you 30 seconds. Let me just answer real quick.
All right.
Yeah, I'll definitely give you 30 seconds. Okay. I think we all have a sense of unrealistic expectations at times. I think everybody does. Because there's going to be things that you're going to believe that a person should do or shouldn't do in a relationship, and that's just not going to happen. Or it may take time to happen, right? You know what I mean? Or it may take time for you to fulfill somebody's expectation. You know what I mean? So, or you may exceed that expectation, and vice versa. They may exceed it. So that's the thing. I think the unrealistic part can happen on many different levels. With that being said, like I said, I agree with Darrell on the point that, and Queen, that I can't tell anybody, what they can achieve or what they can't achieve. I'm not even going to call them delusional. You know what I mean? I'm just going to say that I don't think you can make that happen based on these criteria, but that would be my opinion. Can you still make that happen? Can you still be with Halle Berry? Maybe. Maybe can still make it happen for you. You know what I'm saying? But based on these factors, I don't think it's going to happen for you. And I will list the factors and the reasons why. Now, you may completely make me look foolish and make my talking points look stupid and be like, yeah, best in the world. You said all this and that third, but look, I'm with Halle Berry now. And I'm like, oh, damn, he did it. You know what I'm saying? So that's the thing. I think we can't, but as far as having a universal standard, I don't think that that's ever going to happen. You know what I'm saying? To speak to the brother Darrell's point, I don't think it's ever going to happen, because some people are going to see that as slavery, because they're going to feel like, I don't want to live by your standard. I want to live by my standard. You know what I'm saying? And whether they're right or wrong, they're going to feel that way, right? So once they feel that way, now what do we do? Do we say that they're wrong? Do we say that, nah, man, like, you should live by this universal standard, and we try to convince them? Because then it's going to become a prolonged conversation, right? Then it could become a debate, or it could become where they feel like you're trying to control them. And we're not trying to control people. We're trying to greet people with love and respect. You know what I'm saying? We're trying to get them to see things, in a positive and loving way. Even if they're wrong, right? Let's say we know that they're wrong. Let's say we know that they should be doing things a certain way. Everybody agrees, yo, you should be living your life this way, bro. Or you need to stop doing this, bro. Right? And we tell them that. And we give them all the factors and all the reasoning in the world. At the end of the day, they still should have the freedom to choose that. You know what I'm saying? And then once they make that choice, give them that, show them to understand that, listen, if you make this choice, remember, you have to live whatever choice you make. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's the thing. I think when we want to set people up and let them have real standards that's going to help them. And shout out to Coffee Maker One, what's going on? You know what I mean? When we want people to have these realistic standards, that's cool, that's good. You know what I mean? And it's good to probably build that on community. You know what I mean? So and that's great. But at the end of the day, in order for that to happen, you know what I'm saying, it has to be where everybody see things in a certain light, in a certain perspective, and even to get that to happen, even amongst the same religious group, that's dang near impossible. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying it can't happen, but it's almost impossible to happen because we live in a free moral society. Now, if we live under the caste system or any other society, it may be more doable. But because we live in America, it's almost impossible. You know what I'm saying? Truth, I'll give you 30 seconds, bro. You know what I mean? To answer.
Yeah. So no, like 84 said, it won't never happen, bro. And it's just because we are all different upbringing, different ideologies, different way of thinking. In order to have a unification that you're talking about, we have to have what is called like-mindedness. We have to have understanding. We have to have proper leadership where we have delegated an individual to say, hey, we're going to follow this person. And that will never happen. Even in other countries where they have stricter laws against liberalism, it doesn't happen. Where people are on what is called a monolith. And this is my last point. The shit that's going on out here and the leaders that people place in leaderships, I'm damn sure not following
that. I have to address something in the comments, or I guess even on the panel. So, Lady Saida, you said that you feel like, you get bombarded with questions. Who's bombarding you with questions? I'm not bombarding you with questions, and you're free to speak your mind however you want to speak it. So, am I? Why do you feel that way, and who do you feel is doing that to you?
Because every time I say something, like I'm saying something, and then like a question comes of what I'm saying, and I've been saying the same thing, but I will not take that long to say the same thing. That's what I'm saying. But I wanted to point out something that Daryl said, because when he mentioned that came to my head, is that a standard? And what's the unrealistic part? He said women that want to have a man that earns an amount of money and, like all the things that he said, that they should have a car, a house, and all this stuff. Is this a standard or is this an expectation? Now, if she got all the things going on by herself, and again, I don't agree with the females that disrespect men. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying the fact that a woman is paying for everything, and I'm saying someone that is legit doing that. Okay, I'm not saying someone that is asking men for money. Okay, remove those from the equation. I'm asking for a hardworking woman that is actually working, paying for her stuff, and got it going on, and wants a man that suits her category or whatever standard she has. Is that a standard or is an expectation? Now, it is a standard until she mess up with someone that doesn't have or match what she wants. For example, you've mentioned before the pookies. Is that how you call them? Pookies or something like that? Is that how you call it? Wait, what did I say? Is that how you call him?
Wait. Okay, so
Pookies. Forget it.
So you're talking about? Wait, hold on. So
you're not understanding me. You're not paying attention to what I'm saying, for real. You're not. Because I never call any of you pookies. I am saying until she messes with someone like that and she expects that person to behave or be the standard that she wants, that is unrealistic. Am I making sense?
No, I get it. We're not saying that you're calling us pookies and pookies, right? Do you know the term of
that? Feels disrespectful when someone laughs and I'm asking a question. I'm sorry.
If you want clarification,
wait, hold on, Truth. I got it right. So that was Truth that laughed, but that wasn't like a laugh at you. So a lot of people in the Mansfield calls people, certain guys pookies and Ray Rays. Okay, it's based off a certain type of movie that I don't even remember what the movie is called.
I know that's how you call them, but I am asking if that's the correct pronunciation. I will never call a man that term.
And Lady Saida, we're not laughing at you. It's the way that you say it. We were not expecting you to say it.
I'm even asking you if that's the correct pronunciation. It's like if you say something in Spanish, I will laugh at you because you're not mispronouncing something.
Yeah.
Oh, you were asking us the pronunciation. I thought. Yeah.
Well, you saying it right. It's just your dialect. It's just going to make it seem funny.
My accent. It's my accent. What makes it sound funny? Okay.
Whatever.
Yeah.
That's
all right. Okay.
Okay. Well, let me hold on. Well, let me address this, right? Okay, guys, right? I will ask if you guys could please give Saira an apology because
No. You cannot ask them to do that. No, I don't want no apology.
Thank you, because I was definitely not. If I didn't do anything wrong.
No. When you do a sincere and genuine apology, then it's fine. And I don't expect that. You see, that's an expectation. I don't want no one to do that.
Okay. Well, look.
My standard is who I am.
Okay.
Well, Said, if you felt like I disrespected you,
wait, Miss. I'll say it.
I'm still here.
Like in our platform, we apologize. Okay, if you felt offended in our platform, okay, it was not intended to make fun of you. Even though I didn't really laugh anyways, but I'm just saying in the platform you got offended. That's all.
No, and you know what? I'm gonna listen or read that comment that says try to stay away from that term. It's just that I couldn't find another term to name those people. I guess someone that is not at her level is not earning as much as she is doing. So that's what I'm trying to make the difference when I say standard and unrealistic expectations. And when it becomes an expectations, I can have a standard. Like I pay my bills. I have a car, I have a house, example. Okay, I'm saying this as an example. A woman is hardworking, legit getting this money on her own without asking a man for it. Can she or her standard is to go out with someone that has a house because she already has a house? That's a standard because she already has one and she earned that. Now it becomes an expectation instead of a standard when she is going out with people that don't meet her standards and she only expects these people to get where she's at, and that it becomes an expectation because it's something that she's feeling that is going to be possible, but in reality it's not. Make sense now?
Yeah, but were you talking to Daryl or you just talking to us in general? That's what I was going to ask because I know you started by.
No, she had a question for him. She had a question.
He didn't know. No. You guys don't pay attention.
No. She commented on something I said.
He mentioned something that caught my attention, and I asked myself. I said it before saying all this. I said he said something, and it caught my attention. The way he said it, and I asked myself, was that a standard or an expectation? And then because we're confusing the terms. Yeah. And when you're judging a woman for having standards, again, remove all the bad females, remove them. Just leave the ones that are literally working for their stuff. Okay.
Right.
So you basically, not to cut you off, Lady Saida, you basically wanted him to explain his thoughts or explain his point. Is that what you want him to do?
He didn't say anything wrong, Daryl. You didn't. No.
I'm just saying. Did you want him to explain what he was trying to say?
No. So what happened was
she
broke down something that I said, and she just merely addressed it and broke down what she thought about it. She didn't even ask me anything. I looked at everything that she said.
In other words, 84, she trying to make sure we stay on
what?
When she explained how standards and expectations, she wants us to stay on that, like to make sure we know the difference between the two and stop confident in both of the things. You get what I'm saying?
Why don't you just ask her what she was saying instead of just assuming and going around in circles? Saida, what were you trying to say? Good Lord.
I've been saying it. I just wanted to break it down again to the.
I just literally said that shit, right?
You just said it. Yes, you just said it. You just said it. Truth just said it. But I noticed something that he said, and from that thing that he said, from the 2-3 minutes that he spoke, My brain was like, okay, let me, is this a standard or an expectation? And that's how my brain works. You know, I'm going to question the things that other people ask and then, or say. So that's why I was like, okay, where, you know, and then I wanted to break it down for you so you guys understand when is a standard and when it becomes an expectation. And I used the same example that he gave, because if I say it, and that's why I text that on the chat, because if I say it, it's not valid or it's not heard. But if someone says it, it is. So I'm using his words and what he said, and then I'm breaking it into pieces to make you understand a little bit of my way of thinking.
So were you taking the points that he was basically explaining, right? You were taking the points he was basically explaining, and then you were asking him, was that based on expectations or standards? Was that what you were doing?
I'm not asking him anything. He didn't say anything wrong. He said something that it was okay.
No. I'm not saying that he said anything wrong. You're saying it as if I'm saying that you're critiquing him. I'm not saying that you're critiquing him.
I'm not critiquing. No. I just use that whatever information and use it to explain what I needed to explain. And truth, thank you. They're not listening. You guys are not listening. For real.
No, I don't understand what you're saying.
She like I said earlier, she merely at best she just commenting on what I said. She just delivering commentary on what I said, critiquing what I said at best.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not even critiquing.
I know. That's why I said it wasn't even critiquing, just really just delivering commentary on my commentary.
Yeah. So let me just say this though, right? I'm gonna just be honest with you. Okay. Look, I apologize because when it's so remember that question, right? When you wanted to know why, like when you ask like questions, right? And then we kind of like rebuttal with other questions. A lot of times because you're not, long-winded, like it's easier for us to like kind of pick up on certain things and then to really respond. But I mean, that part right there was like kind of like a loaded question, so I didn't get a chance to follow it because I was thinking you was like, asking Daryl those questions, but that was my mistake. So,
I'm just trying to have a certain level of reasoning, because if she makes a point, she makes a point. I don't never ask her questions about her point. I never do that. I just let everybody make their point. The only reason I'm asking the question now is because I'm just trying to figure out why was she giving commentary on what Brother Daryl was saying. I'm just trying to figure out like why was that happening? What was she trying to correlate basically? Like that's what I'm trying to ask.
No problem. The reason why is because from the moment I got in, I've been trying to explain the difference between a standard and an expectation. That's the first thing I said. I pretty much explained the difference between them. One is a fact, the other is a fiction. That's what I said. I don't need to speak 30 minutes or 3 minutes to say what I just said. It's my point. I said it long time ago. I don't need to speak 3 minutes. So one is a fact, one is a fiction. Now I'm giving you an example, and I've been giving you different examples. A standard is that I don't like certain type of men. I will only go with this type of man, and it's a fact. Now I'm giving you another example, so you see when is a standard, when is an expectation. That's all I was doing. Is giving you an example of the difference between a standard and an expectation, and why sometimes it's contradicting. So why would a woman have false expectations or delusional when she expects a man to be a certain thing, or a certain way? But this man doesn't match her standards. And that's when it becomes delusional or an expectation.
Yeah, I completely understand that you were saying that. I was just trying to get you to, basically basically connect the dots between your commentary, what Brother Darrell was saying, and why you even made the commentary. And then I also asked, why do you feel like you are being bombarded with questions, but yet the men are able to be long-winded? You know what I'm saying? I don't know who you actually are talking about specifically, whether it's me or any other man, but I'd rather you just say why you feel that there's a bias based on what we're doing. And then Brother Daryl, you can say whatever you got to say after that.
Yeah, I'm about to say, yeah, 'cause
Mr. Best, I communicate, and I don't communicate in a bad way. I said what I felt. I said it in the chat publicly with no tone or nothing. If it was taken in a different way, if you notice I am calm, I will always be like that. Even if you misunderstand me, I will try my best for you guys to understand me without getting any type of attitude. I don't expect you guys to apologize. Like, I understand there is a lack of communication due to the language barrier, and I'm not even blaming you. I'm taking the responsibility for it. Simple as that. But don't take my comment in a certain way. I just said it because I noticed that. And if I notice it, I'm going to address it. Why? M3 spoke like for 2 minutes. I was in the timer. I was taking the timer on because I was like, So when I speak, I am, and let me explain this.
Yeah.
He asked me questions on what I'm saying, but at the same time, I wasn't even blaming him or blaming why you question what I say, because at the same time, I'm saying maybe they are questioning what I say to understand because I'm not explaining myself well. Because whatever I say is not what they hear, or they need explanation. Even though I'm speaking English, I don't know what the difference is. Because when I say something and then someone else says, like, I said that 30 minutes ago. What's the difference with what I said and what this person is saying? It happens a lot, but I'm not blaming you guys. Okay.
Okay. So okay, and no, none of us is offender or whatever, right? We just wanted like it just called like clarification.
Exactly.
So like yeah, so and you are very clear in your English, so there's nothing wrong with it. It just there was things that you said in the beginning that I was like, oh, I mean, I don't even remember what I asked you, but I was just kind of intrigued, by the statement that you said. So it led to other things that I could personally take note of, for my own personal self, or maybe for other topics in the future. Whereas, and I said this too, the guys in the panel, they could get long-winded. And then sometimes some people could probably go from one topic to the next. So by then I'm already tuned out. So
I get it.
I'm just being straightforward.
Let's continue with what we were discussing.
Yes,
Brother Daryl, go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
Oh no. I was going to address what Cyrus said. If a woman, like, this is where our standards does become our own like expectations. If I'm a man, I'm not gonna deal with a certain type of woman. A woman shouldn't deal with a certain type of man. I'm sorry. If a woman find herself dealing with a man that makes less than her, less accomplished than her, has less access to her, but she's still entertaining that man, then it's something wrong with her actually like following her own expectations and goals, right? And we saw this a lot on Kevin Samuel's show, whereas and Crew Season did a show about this recently as well, and the title was people not really worth what they demand. And that's where it really comes in, because when you have women who expect men to do certain things that they aren't really doing themselves, and like a person saying they have something and saying they do something is different from them really having it and actually doing it. You get what I'm saying? And that's why so many men, when you have your money right, you exercise your options. That's just the truth, right? You always have beautiful women pretty much at your fingertips. Also, with that accessibility to those women, you have to set your expectations of yourself, right? Do you really want to be around here slanging pipe, et cetera, or do you really want to get to know somebody? I find it actually that most men can actually meet most women financially, because if you really take a look at it, I'm not trying to like be a stat nerd, but most men out earn most women. That's a fact. Most men are more educated. right? There's more men in the STEM fields where the most money is earned. What men desire really is an equal return for what they buying. I say this all the time. I'm not going to pay Dior prices for some Nikes. I'm just not. I like, no matter what, like, and this is where what I think M3, I think one of you, I think the Queen was said this word, delusion.
Mm-hmm.
You might not be worth the price, right? And that works both ways. Once that woman sets that standard, a man may not fulfill it for her, but the price for a man, if I'm going to spend the same 90K and I can get, you know, a woman version of, like I said, I use Dior and different clothing brands. Why would I get that same 90K spent and I'm getting Nike and Adidas and Under Armour and shit like that when I can get Dior and Balenciaga, right? We're gonna get the best deal for our, you know, for our money, et cetera, for our time. So that's just the way I look at it. But most women,
Can I comment?
Wait, hold on,
I was
hold
a
on.
woman absolutely, like, if she find herself dating a guy that she is saying he broke and everything like that, then why have you spent so much time with this person? You should manage your expectations and really push that person away from the very beginning. That's what I would do. I wouldn't deal with a woman that's beneath my expectations.
Okay. Hold on for a minute, Sarah. Wally, are you still here? Okay. Since Wally's not saying anything, I'm assuming that he is probably asleep or probably frozen. So I'm just going to just kick him out of the studio. Okay. We do have a question number 4. I just want to make sure everybody answered number 3 first.
Yeah,
I think Truth, you already answered. Best you did.
I just want to
Yes,
say one
sir.
last point. I just want to say one last thing.
Mhm.
And the reason why I asked you that question about what you said in the comments, Lady Saida, is because I don't want it to be where that we make blanket statements and people don't understand what we're talking about. So if you say something that you don't like within, you know, the panel or even within the chat, I want to address it so that you know that there's a level of respect and decorum and love here. You know what I'm saying? And that we have a standard here. So, and that'll be anybody. So if Brother Darrell complained about something that he's seen or something that he's seen on the panel, I'm gonna address it. If Truth do it, I'm gonna address it. If Queen do it, I'm gonna address it. If M3 does it, I'm gonna address it. You know what I'm saying? If I feel something, I'm gonna address it. So, you know, it wasn't a personal attack on you, so I want you to know that. Okay, I just wanted to know, why did you feel the way that you feel and why did you make that statement? That's it. And I gotta give a shout out to my bro, 100 watts. What up, baby? My 757, bro. What's good?
What's up?
What
The man that loves those that love him.
Yeah. So that's why I asked you what I asked you, Lady Saida. So it wasn't anything personal, okay?
Mm-hmm. But you already answered the question anyways, though. So sorry, I know you had your hand up for Daryl, and I guess you had a question for him, or maybe you probably have a question for us.
It was more a comment, but
Oh,
I'm
okay.
trying to look the source, to be honest, because I always like to speak on something, based on the source. As a sales, I'm not gonna say saleswoman. I know sales. Okay, I work with sales. So when sales, yes, when you purchase an item, a fact is that if you cannot afford that item from I don't remember if it's 3 times or 5 times the price.
Yeah.
You cannot afford it. In reality, you cannot afford it. And I'm saying out of pocket. He was talking, okay, I can buy the Jordans, whatever name. I don't even know the names. You know, I've never owned a pair of Jordans, to be honest. I don't like them. So if you 5 times, right? Someone said, okay, so if you cannot afford to buy or purchase something 5 times out of pocket, not credit, out of pocket, in reality, you cannot afford it. So I'm using the same metaphor of you that you're using to kind of point at the fact that you're treating women as a product. But in reality, if you cannot afford that, 3 to 5 times, your reality cannot afford that. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's
BS though.
No, but you understand what she's saying. Like she's talking about.
That's BS though.
I was about to
BS.
say, if that's the case, then like all women just gonna die alone, and men gonna end up getting coochie, and y'all gonna end up having our babies anyway.
And don't get like that. I'm not saying that's correct. I'm saying the metaphor that was being used is kind of like not applicable in this case. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that it's right, for a woman, or I don't like when men try to think like, oh, when you're purchasing an item, you're not purchasing a woman. That's why you're demanding and you want her to behave in a certain way because you feel like you're purchasing an item. It's a product, but that's the mentality of most Americans.
Hey,
that's her opinion. But hold on. I'm saying, hold on, everybody, calm down. That's her opinion. So respect the opinion to it. Same thing that she's trying to understand the American culture. Hopefully we take the time to understand her culture and anyone else's background as well too.
Do you guys know what a metaphor is?
Yeah, I agree with you.
Yes.
Okay, so someone said, don't get married if you're broke. That's not what I said.
No, that's not.
No. He's not saying that. That's what he's saying.
Yes, and that's not what I said. Exactly. So I'm not even going to bother to explain.
The situation she's talking about.
That way.
If y'all, if y'all associated with people of, high wealth, they talk about this. This is actually a method that they actually run by. That if you can't pull it out your pocket, they don't buy it. And we're talking about rich people. This is I forgot the name of the book it was in. It was written by this guy, and he's wealthy. Like he's over probably a decamillionaire by now. But he said this. He said he doesn't purchase anything if he can't pull it out of strictly his pocket, and it has to be 5 times over. He goes all his assets in that manner.
Was that? I'm just asking.
But that's not
Was
reality.
that Rich Dad Poor Dad? I'm just asking.
This is rich people shit. So we always talk about.
That's not reality, though.
I'm about to say, I'm gonna say this too before I get out of here, man. Like I call a cap on a lot of that because a lot of these millionaires, whether it's Denzel, they all met. Denzel met his wife on a date where he couldn't even afford the fucking taxi.
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying? Like the idea that a man has to be able to afford 3 times what a woman. You're going to, if a woman, I'm not saying, and Sierra made it clear that that's not how she feels, a metaphor based on what I said. But if women run around with that mentality, you're going to fail because, the most successful men, just look at the Amazon dude, Bezos. Yeah, like these dudes, all of those dudes usually started off with a woman before they even can afford this. This is all a cap. What a woman brings to these men is true value. You know what I'm saying? Like, and to me, it's just ridiculous because it's easy to afford women. That's the crazy thing. It's easy to afford, like come on, like rent, dates, condoms, food, stuff for the babies.
Call a cap on that one, sir.
That's stuff that dudes do every single.
Hold on, sir. He's still talking. Hold on, he's still
talking. That's stuff that dudes do every single day to bag women and keep these women for years on rotation. That's a fact. But we're not talking about that. We're talking about like marriage is about something deeper than that. Like, is she really, really, really there for him? You know what I'm saying? Otherwise, for me, like I use the sneakers as an example, but what I was really talking about is intrinsic value. My money, no matter what I spend it on, no matter if it's gold or silver, Jordans or Dior's, it don't matter. Am I getting my proper return on investment when I spend my dollar? If I'm not, no matter what's coming out her mouth, it's not worth it. Because what I understand is she gonna put the price on her and say, I need 100,000. But then the dude that she had the kid with, he paid 20. It's no way that she can convince me he paid what he's trying to convince me to pay. It's the inflation now. And now I'm not into that. I understand the market, right? I understand that my dollar here, when she's saying this is $100,000, I can turn around on Jefferson Street and get a mansion for that price. I can't do it. Right? I gotta put my money in the right basket. In the same way, women gonna do the same thing. They're gonna look at he's an option, and they're gonna go for the bigger price, right? Both dudes saying they got it, but she gonna go for the one that she feel like really got it, the better option. Women and men are the same. That's what I talked about earlier. Like we have this symbiotic, like almost natural way of living. We want the best option. If I'm going to spend again $90,000, I was just saying shoes because I rock shoes. I'm not going to spend Dior prices for a pair of Adidas. But most women don't see themselves that way. They think that they are the Giuseppes. They think they are the Vera Waynes, but they are the Adidas, right? The K-Swiss.
And now you're making sense to me.
Exactly. Oh, wow. You know what I'm saying? So I need a proper return on investment before I really go completely all in like that. Otherwise, I'm gonna watch too, and then the next dude, she gonna make him pay $15,000 because she emotional. It's crazy. It's crazy. Yeah. Watch out for the inflation, man. That's all I gotta say.
So Daryl, basically, hold on. So Daryl, so basically, in other words, relationships are transactional in some ways.
What?
Yes, some of them are prostitutes. That's transactional.
All relationships are transactional when it comes to men and women, especially. If you think if you think that like you trading your time and a woman's about to trade her like her energy and everything for nothing, oh my God, like you being fooled, bro. Like nobody is approaching nobody for nothing. Like that's only a fool would think that. Everybody have a fucking agenda or some kind of self-interest. I actually like judge people and I try to base people what I think they self-interests are. So whatever your self-interests are, I'm gonna like move based on what I believe your self-interests are with me, right? So that's absolutely. Everything is transactional.
Exactly, and that's the point of it. But here's the thing, right? I think where a lot of people get one thing mixed in, right? Or they just only think of one simple thing. They think money is like the root to solve everything. And I think that's where like people start to see like, oh, like I understand why people feel like we're trying to buy women. But you don't have to buy women with monetary things. You don't have to buy women with money. You know what I mean? Because whatever that you value is subjective. And honestly, it's not the man who put the price on a woman. It's the woman that puts the price for herself. Depends on what she feels that she is worth. So if you come into a woman, that woman's price or stipulation, however you want to call it, is that, look, I don't care about your money much. What I care about is that you go out there and you be in the best shape that I would like to see. Because that woman's in the best shape of herself. And she don't want no slop. That's probably in the woman's eyes. Sire, your price is you want a man, right? That's going to treat you with respect. That's going to have those values, that, your father, gave to you and, other people in your life, like family values. But also you want a man that's not like dressed in like, sweats all the time. You have a standard. So in a jargon, or should I say slang, people will look at it, will say, well, that is my price, based off of what I feel that I'm worth, but everything is subjective. The problem is when you hear about these communities, people talk about money too much. Like money is going to solve every freaking problem, and it does not. Look, if you want a woman based off of your money and you could get her, then go to the woman on the corner store. There are plenty of hoes that will be willing, okay, to accept the money that you have. All right? Get the prostitutes if that's the case. But everybody has different values of what it's worth. So yeah.
I have a question. Did 100 Watson Tammy get the share yet? I don't know if they did or not.
Because Tammy, she just came back and
she came back?
Just came in.
Tammy,
what's up?
Sorry, we want to get to you later because I gotta get to like these guys. Sorry. First Lady Tammy, go ahead. What is number 3? Do you think that both men and women have unrealistic expectations?
I mean, it depends on what you consider unrealistic. I think, I did listen a little earlier. I think BK Apologies was talking about attainable, if they're attainable. I think to some degree, some people can have unrealistic expectations. But what's unrealistic to me is not unrealistic to them. I feel like you need to be honest about what it is that you want.
Chicago Rilla.
Some people want certain things, but they're not putting in the work in order to have those certain things. So I do think it's a matter of, the fact that if just because it's unrealistic to you doesn't mean it's unrealistic to me. I mean, I may want certain things and someone say that's crazy, but why does it have to be crazy just because that's something that I want? I mean, you need to look at the environment you're in, look at your lifestyle, and then look at certain things. You have certain expectations, but are you even in a space for that to be realistic? I would say. So I think the problem is people don't want to hold themselves accountable and people are not honest. So, you can't say you want someone who makes 6 figures, but you're not even in a space or in an environment for somebody that makes 6 figures. I mean, if you say I want someone who makes 6 figures, but you're always dating people that are, maybe a cashier at a restaurant or something like that. Well, they may start as a cashier, they may go to management, but is that something that they're trying to do? So it's a matter of looking at the expectations you have and seeing, are those attainable expectations? Are you in the type of environment or space where those are expectations you really need to have? So because like I said, it might be unrealistic to me, but for yourself if that's something you can actually have. Because sometimes it's not and sometimes it is. So I think it's about being honest and being intentional in certain things. And those are things that people are not willing to do. I mean, a lot of people can't even take honesty from people that care about us, that are trying to be honest with us about things. A lot of people can't even take that. So to be honest with yourself, some people are not willing to go there. So to be honest with yourself means you have to see yourself a certain kind of way. And some people are not willing to do that. So.
Okay. Thank you. First Lady Tammy. 100 watts. I need to get to you, my brother. Thank you for joining in.
I want to thank Brother Daryl Long for hopping up.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for
and thank you for staying
through.
Longer too.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
And shout out to Chicago Rilla.
Yeah, salute Chicago Rilla, man. Mm-hmm. Salute Chicago Rilla. I'm actually chatting with him in the back real quick. But yeah, go ahead, MP. I'm sorry.
No, you good though. All right, so 100 watts. Hold on, let me put you in the middle. All right, 100 watts, man. What's your thoughts for number 3? Do both men and women have unrealistic expectations?
I think it's a human trait to have unrealistic expectations. I think that we all as people, as human beings, like, we have these high thoughts of ourselves. Of course, there are people that may have their insecurities and things that they're going through, but we all feel, generally speaking, we all feel like we deserve the best. As a man, I feel, and knowing what I've done in my lifetime for this country and for my kids and blah, 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 and all that other kind of stuff, I feel like I deserve the best. Now, I think what needs to be done is managing your expectations. So if, like, matter of fact, the analogy that D was using earlier, right? If you have an expectation and you believe that you are of Gucci slides price, and you go out in the market and you find out that people aren't trying to pay that, you have to manage your expectations and change your price. So if you have expectations of finding a 6 foot tall, 6-figure making, super built with no kids, no baby mamas, and talk to his mama every day, and you find that that's either not realistic or that person doesn't really fit your vision, you have to change your expectations. I think it's okay to want the best, but when you realize that certain things aren't going to come to you, or certain things that you're looking for isn't what you're really wanting in your life, you have to change your expectations. I really think it's as simple as that.
All right, that's well put. I mean, like I said, like expectations, like to me, like I get the point, like what was said, like you have your standards and you have your expectations, and your expectations is basically like just unspoken communication because that's what you expect for that person to be, like the way how you want that person to be. But setting a standard is by communicating and discussing and hopefully working things out between you and your significant other. And if it doesn't work out the way how you want it, then you have two choices. Either you're going to deal and just be disappointed, or you're going to break it off and move on and hopefully find someone that can kind of match, your expectation or your standards, basically. And good night, Sire. Thank you for tuning in. It was a pleasure to have you on here. So, all right. And let me see. Okay. Excuse me. All right. Let's go ahead and move. And I already answered the question from earlier. Like, I said they do, pretty much. Let me go to the final question because I gotta hurry up and wrap it up. And
dun.
Yeah, I'm trying to pull up. Okay, here it is. Number 4. Since we live in a free society here in America, should we even have standards? Okay, let's rock this out for like 1 minute per person. All right, First Lady Tammy. We want to start with First Lady Tammy. Truth. No, actually, hold on. Let me switch up a little bit. Ladies first. First Lady Tammy, Queen, Truth, Mr. Best, and myself. Each of us will have a minute. So, but before we do this, right? I'm going to play the intermission one last time. So if you're new to National Relations here on YouTube, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you have a Twitch, please follow us on Twitch. Also, please take the time to share your videos to your social media. And at the end of the live stream, please leave comments because the comments that you guys love from Be Easy, the Easily Rigs live stream, that blew up and it got a lot of attention. So please make sure y'all do that. Intermission time. All right, everyone, we are back. So, since we live in a free society here in America, should we even have standards? I'm gonna give everybody 1 minute.
Hold on, 3. We gotta give a shout out to Princess K. Hey, Princess K.
I am so sorry. Thank you, Mr. Best. Salutes to Princess K. How you doing, Princess K? Hopefully you are enjoying your evening. She says to live with no standards is like standing in front of a moving train on train tracks. All right. Princess K, you're more than welcome to come up if you like. This was the last question, so each person will have a minute before we close out. But thank you for tuning in. And everybody, please get the likes up. We have like 43 likes so far, so thank you so much and keep it coming. All right. First Lady Tammy, what's your thoughts? And I'm going to give you a minute.
Just because it's a free society, why shouldn't we have standards? I mean, I think that's something that everybody should have. There shouldn't be a question about it. So whether we're a free society or not, that doesn't take away the fact that standards are needed. So there's really not a lot other than that I have to say, because I mean, I don't know. That to me, it doesn't make sense to even wonder why we should have them just because we're a free society. How does a free society mean that we shouldn't have standards? So yeah, I don't know. I really don't have really a lot else to add because that doesn't really make any sense to me. But yeah.
All right, First Lady Tammy, I hear you. I dig it. All right, let me go ahead and reset the clock. All right, Queen Forever 2K. What you think about number 4? What's your thoughts? You got 1 minute.
Yeah, I mean, have standards. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, go after what you want. You think you can walk to the moon, by all means, try. I don't care. Just have some standards, live by something, and, but I was just a little thrown off with all the whole price tag on women and stuff. But anyway, yeah, we should have standards.
Okay, Queen. All right, thank you. All right. Truth is never favored.
Yes,
what do you think about number 4? Blood in. What do you think about number 4?
Let's go. Since we live in a free society here in America, should we even have standards? Absolutely yes. Absolutely yes. And I mean, I can't speak for everybody, but I am going to have a standard. One of my standards is, as for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. That is not everybody's standards, that is mine. And I'm going to move that way regardless of anybody else. Simple and sweet.
All right. Thank you, Truth. Mr. Best in the world. What do you think about number 4?
Yes. Hold on. Let me put my headset on. You can keep it up. I'm coming.
Keep what up? The time? No, I'm waiting for you.
All right, I'm here.
Okay.
I think us having a standard is unrealistic. I'm gonna explain why. I think we can have morals and boundaries, and those morals and boundaries are maybe laws, but to have one universal standard is impossible because everybody believes in something different. Everybody wants to live the way that they want to live, and the only way you can have a set standard is if we're no longer in a free society. You know what I'm saying? So if I'm going to set a standard for somebody and I'm going to say that is the standard, then that means we no longer live in a free society. You know what I mean? That's me saying, okay, this is how we have to live. You know what I mean? So that is essentially, damn near slavery, basically. Because I'm telling you how you have to live and what you have to do. You know what I'm saying? So your freedom is gone. Your ability to choose is no longer an option. Because you got to live by the standard I'm telling you to live by. And that's my answer.
Okay. So, all right, let me go ahead with myself. As far as like a universal standard, I think that's very hard for a community to try to achieve unless if every single person becomes like-minded. But personal standards, yes, like, you can have, it does exist and it is achievable, but it starts off with communication. So my personal standard is that, like, whatever we feel, we have to communicate. Okay. Even if it gets rough and dirty, we still have to communicate. That's the standard of it. Standard is that we're not going to publicly shame each other, And that's going to the same thing, like, for my homies, like, like if I don't address these, if I don't have these conversations, then that just becomes expectations, and yet again, they will become unrealistic. So with that being said, all right, thank you everyone for tuning in to Knowledge Relationships. Let me go ahead and read some of these comments. Princess K says, oh, the question was having a universal standard. I'm sorry, I got the question mixed up. No, you good. I mean, it wasn't on there. It was just said standards though. But we had conversations with, Daryl Long, shout outs to him, and he mentioned so he mentioned that we should have a universal standard, and that, is based off of, what the general consensus of the community themselves. Or it could be, religious standards that can be universal. But unfortunately, human beings is not going to really, everybody's going to follow their own personal standard. And that's why we have so many, I'm just using church for example. We have so many different churches, denominations, so many different beliefs, because no one is willing to hold to, either they don't want to hold on to a true standard, or they just don't know, or they just don't agree, or they don't believe. I'll just say they just don't believe, respectfully. Okay. But yeah, thank you. So Kay Mary, shouts to her. She says, please remember to smash the like button and leave comments in after the live the afterlife replay. So hold on. Let me go ahead and cue the music off. All right. YouTube, don't try to give me a copyright. But anyways, thank you everybody for tuning in to Knowledge and Relationships on YouTube. Please follow or subscribe to the Intellectual Soapbox. Also subscribe to DJ Eddie King. And don't forget to subscribe to here, Knowledge and Relationships, right here on YouTube, and follow us on Twitch. Again, please leave comments. Okay. The ones who's in the chat, you guys have a lot of comments to say in the live streams, but definitely use that same type of energy when the show is over. Okay. A universal standard just sounds terrible. Say it out loud slowly, and you'll realize how asinine it is. Okay, asinine it sounds. And she says, as for a standard of behavior you set for yourself, that's a whole other thing. She also says, you have a great night. Bye. All right. Salutes to Princess K. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. And with that being said, we're out, everyone.
Later.
Knowledge and Relationships.